welcome back to an all new, all different episode of the BlerdCast. The podcast where black and creative meets nerdy and innovative. As always, I'm your host, Trey Harris, aka the pilot of the Millennial Falcon, Bando Calrissian, Maz Kanat today, MC Kylo Ren, Frankie Beverly and Mace Windu, Young Black Kang. And as always, I'm joined in the Hype About the Time Chamber by
it's your boy, DJ, aka your mom's best friend, your sister's next ex, your ex next baby father, aka won't stop till she gets up.
And you know that we are joined in the ones and twos by
Yo, it's your boy Marcus, aka the King Fresh, aka that Mr. Hot Two-Stepper, aka the light-skinned King of Wakanda, aka the Fist of the North Star, aka the Young Boy Skywalker, aka the MCU's next Miles Morales, baby.
Okay.
Manifesting today, boys.
He's got the hair for it.
He does.
You see, that's why I'm going it out.
He's got the hair for it. And you know we're joined behind the camera by
Hey, yo, it's your boy Meta, aka Metaverse, aka Mr. He Do Be Schmoovin', aka Flex Luther, aka the 10th user of One For All.
Yes, and you are listening again to the Black and Nerdy. We're not Black and Nerdy, we're the BlerdCast, the blackest podcast in the multiverse. And today, you've already noticed we've got ourselves a special guest because we're talking about the greatest movie to grace us of 2021. But we needed some help to, talk about it. So we brought in an all-star for the all-star review. We got our homeboy, DC Black.
Yo, what's up? Here representing Save Point Plus. You can go ahead, catch us on YouTube and Twitch. Save Point Plus.
Exactly. So yeah, support black business. Definitely one of my closest friends. I had to bring him in because this, like I said, this is too monumental of a movie. What do you say, DJ?
I'm out in the streets. I'm the closest friend.
You're my brother.
Shut up.
So yeah, and today we are reviewing Spider-Man No Way Home. Just letting you know right now, it's about to be spoilers galore. So if you have not watched the movie,
Shame on you.
leave. Just click off. We'll give you this second right now, 2 seconds.
Subscribe, like, but then leave.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Before you leave.
Oh,
like,
don't forget to
subscribe.
hit the bell too. Hit that bell.
Exactly. Hit that bell icon too, so
Yeah.
you get alerts whenever we drop new
Yeah.
content.
But we dropping spoilers today, my baby.
Exactly. So, guys, Sunday. Well, at the time we're recording this, we're recording on Monday. We saw the movie yesterday.
Right.
Oh,
So
really? Oh, okay.
opening weekend we saw on the Sunday.
Exactly. We saw it on opening weekend. Did
Sorry.
you go on the day that it
I saw it Wednesday. Yeah.
How'd you get Wednesday tickets?
He has a private
Right.
He was
Wait,
in there
no,
with
wait,
Tom
hold up,
Holland.
hold up.
Like, hey, no,
Hold up. No, Thursday. I saw it Thursday.
It was Thursday. Okay.
It was Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Listen. When you have two kids, days start turning into like every day looks the same way. Yes.
So yeah, we're about to just jump right into this. What's called in 3 minutes or less. I will start with Marcus. We're gonna go around this way, and then we'll come back to me. What were your initial thoughts going into the movie, and what were your thoughts once the movie was over?
I knew off the bat that it was gonna be a movie to be remembered, just because that ending from the second one, when his whole identity got revealed, and then he pinned the whole Mysterio pinned his death on him, and he was like America or the world's top enemy at that point, and then he was just fired from the get-go, and then that beginning scene, bro, when he was swinging through with MJ, bro.
Oh
yeah, when he first picked her up and he was going through, that was cold. And then what's the name? There was a lot of stuff that happened like in this movie, bro. But like going into it, like I knew like something was about to be like, what was I about to say? I was talking, but then I was like trying to fill it into like a part where I was about to bring up, but I'm just gonna go to the end of it. Basically, after the movie, after I saw it, bro, why am I drawing a blank? I'm like drawing a blank right now, dog. I'm just trying to think about okay, so when he first went into Doctor Strange's what's the name?
Sanctum.
Yeah, the Sanctum. When we was trying to figure out why that all snow, I'm glad they like figured that out, and like it's like the whole like what's the name? A door was open and the snow kind of came in.
One of the
one of the portals.
Yeah.
Siberia was just left open.
Yeah, and then I'm glad they explained that because I was like, because I thought that's why it was gonna be tied in with Hawkeye, because it was
He just had an idea.
Yeah, and then I thought that's why it was gonna be tied into Hawkeye, which I realized when he was swinging through New York, there was a billboard with the
Rogers.
Yep,
Yeah,
that was the same musical that's in Hawkeye.
Yep.
So I was like, bro, they is really throwing this out there. Like these universes is really coming together, like or these movies and these TV shows. You know what I mean? So like, you really got to go see these TV shows to understand and like really get like in depth on what these movies is talking about. But overall, I would say like, bro, that movie was cold, man. Like that ending, man, when they had to. That like I put myself in that situation. So put yourself in that situation. So your wife is about to forget your whole entire existence. And your best, everybody in this room don't know who you are tomorrow, and you just gotta go live your day. Like it's just something like you just deal with. You know, just you sad, but you ain't got nobody to be sad with. Cause nobody knows who you are.
You're alone.
So nobody knows who you are. So like that's bro. I put myself in that situation. I was like, dog. I felt so like. I was like, I don't know what I would do, like, cause he was in that. He had the opportunity to talk to her in the what's the name too?
In the
cafe.
The cafe.
Yeah, the cafe. And then like you saw, I don't remember that necklace she got in the second one.
Black Dahlia.
Yeah. The broken necklace.
Yeah.
She still had that on, so that means that she still has an affection or attraction to that necklace. So that means there's some way that he's gonna have to like,
of course,
get in there. So like,
can't have Peter without MJ.
Well, I know, but I'm just
saying
saying
they did it in the beginning comics, but
yeah, I mean Gwen.
Gwen and Liz Gillies.
Oh, Liz, yeah.
Not Liz Gillies, Liz
Allen.
Yeah, I was thinking about Liz Gillies from Victorious, like they were not together.
Oh yeah.
But nah, I would rank this movie. I would put it on the S tier for sure. Like if you haven't seen this movie, like I said, shame on you.
Is it in your top 5?
I would say top 5. I would say top 5.
You do?
If not, okay, no, I would say at least top 10. Top 10. I would say top 10.
Black.
All right, so going in this, number one, I knew already that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield was in the movie.
Yeah.
I was just waiting to see this because I was just waiting. I was like, man, just all right, we're gonna see this. But going in it, I was actually even though I knew that, I was slightly hesitant because Far From Home looked like it was good and that movie was trash.
Yes. Probably the worst Spider-Man.
No,
not the worst overall Spider-Man, but the worst of this trilogy.
Yeah. But once we got to the end, I was like, wow, this is the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how you pulled this off. This is better than Into the Spider-Verse. Like, how did you? I was like,
Into the Spider-Verse was a really good one.
Exactly. I was like, how did you? Wow, you actually accomplished this. And then like I started realizing, oh shoot, okay. So I understand some of your choices in Homecoming and Far From Home. I don't agree with them at all.
No.
But I understand why you did this. And and like before they got to the middle of the second act of the movie, I realized, oh, okay, so we're gonna do one more day and one moment.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought as well.
I was like, okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay, but instead of Mephisto, we got Doctor Strange, which he was actually in Omit and not one more day. So I was like, okay, so we're gonna do this. Once we got to the end, I was like, wow, all right, brand new day. Okay, and then like for him to have, and then he actually finally, and it took me a while to realize this, but this is the first time we see him in the red and blue suit.
Yes.
He has not had the red and blue suit this entire time. Because in my mind, when I saw this, like, wait, he's had the red and blue suit before. And I thought I was like, oh shoot, no, he hasn't.
Black and red.
Yeah. I realized it's like, oh shoot, this is a Spider-Man that has never worn the red and blue suit. That's kind of crazy. All right. But yeah, I was excited, but I don't know what it is. This phase, they are knocking it out the park with freaking post-credit scenes. I don't know who back there cooking the post-credit scenes, but
John Watts for sure put his foot in this one.
I was like, yo, who's coming up with these post-credit scenes? Because man, you are on it this phase. I think this phase probably has had the best post-credit scenes of any phase. I was like, wow. And then also too, we'll probably get to it. We'll get to it, but yeah, man.
Eric Summers and Chris McKenna, the writers for this.
Yeah, like, and then them posts. We'll get to them, but bam, them post credits is wow. But I think this is probably in my top 5 for as far as MCU movies because I have Infinity War, Endgame, Winter Soldier, this, and Black Panther.
You gonna put Civil War up there?
I hate Civil War. I hate that movie. I hate that
The whole
movie.
list was invalid once you said Endgame. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Endgame was
I
spectacular.
would say.
But so was this one. This movie was definitely sound.
It was.
I would say my review for once y'all go, but DJ, go ahead.
Going into it, like he said, I kind of figured just off the trailers and all the the villains that we were going to get, that nostalgic fan service of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, just more so when it was going to pop up in the movie. And I was like, I was in there, I'm like, it was great. It was always awesome. But aside from that, walking into it, I expected it to be good. I had my hopes down just a little bit, but I also had my expectations higher than my letdowns because the MCU, I mean, they missed a little bit. They missed with Far From Home a little bit, but Homecoming was good. So either or.
You think they missed entirely with Far From Home?
Far From Home and Homecoming, like
And
both of them. Yes, both of
I'm
them.
gonna need you to get off the podcast.
Both of them.
Listen, I brought them in because I thought it was incredible.
Both of them are so bad. Like they are bad movies for different reasons. But they're
Yeah.
Okay.
But the introductions with the villains were nice. I like what they did with Jamie Foxx. He looks a lot better than what he did in Amazing Spider-Man.
they made him a totally complete different person.
It's a whole lot more joking.
I'm glad they brought back Doc Ock. I'm glad they brought back Willem Dafoe.
They even brought back.
Hold up, did y'all read the fact that he had 2 conditions for him coming back?
He did do his own stunts.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, he did most of it.
he did no, he did all of them. Like every single thing, every single thing you saw Green Goblin do, that was him.
That was him.
Yeah.
Wait, so he did that.
I was,
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
William Dafoe, I think was the best actor in that movie. Hands down.
yes.
We'll get into characters in a second.
Okay,
Because, that's
That was one of the. He said, "I won't be Green Goblin unless I can do this. Like I want to do all my stuff." But like the introductions of the villains were nicely choreographed. With Doc Ock being was he first? He was the first one, right?
Yep. Doc Ock was
And
first.
then Green Goblin showed his face. Well, he didn't show his face, but he did his little bomb throw.
Yeah.
Then I think,
Yeah.
but we didn't get Lizard's introduction. He was already captured.
That was just like I know one cares about him.
Like, this is what happened. And I caught this guy. So it's like, so we don't get this.
How did I hear?
Lizard.
Right.
Yo,
So other than that, like the relationship chemistry between Tom Holland and Zendaya was nice because they're obviously already there together. So that made the chemistry a lot better. So
Yeah.
great. So like when the kiss scenes happened and all like the romantic looking faces and I love you and all that stuff, it felt genuine because they're together. Ned was Ned. He was cool. Like the Easter eggs left and right. Like for those who actually know about the Easter egg comic books or Easter eggs from like the comics or from the movies.
We don't get into those.
Don't just talk about like anybody who watches. Like if you caught those, you be like, oh, and can't forget about Daredevil.
Oh yeah, we was about to see you jumping ahead. You're that guy.
You're saying what do I think about it? So,
Okay, go ahead.
I thought that was cool, but to end this and fast forward over. Yes, I give this definitely my top 5. And after my nostalgic high came down, that's why I had to get more clear. Like, okay, at first,
because you wanted to record a podcast the day after, literally the day of after we saw the movie, bro. I need to digest it.
Because I was just like, let's go talk about it. Woo! But yeah, it's perfect why I waited because I definitely was like, I went home, I went to where I was at, and then I came back, and I'm like, okay. Now that mama started down, like now I can fully digest.
It's the exact same for me. I love it.
I still love it. Like that's still there, but the nostalgia of seeing like my childhood Spider-Man, because I didn't like Andrew Garfield with Spider-Man.
But still, I feel like he still did good in that movie.
Yeah, he did.
yeah,
As old as he got, but yeah. So
Alright,
S tier, 9 out of 10.
I think this S tier is gonna be 10.
Right.
Let me be great. Go ahead.
I think that going in, I was already spoiled on. I don't know if we could say it.
Go ahead. This is all spoilers.
No, I was talking about. I didn't know if we were gonna get into it. I was already spoiled on Aunt May dying, and I was I was in my head. I was like, that's gotta be a troll. And then when I saw her get hit with the
glider.
yeah, I was like, that thing had spikes on the front. That's how he died. Oh, she got up. She good. Oh, she stuttered.
Oh man, that scene. I was God.
Yo,
So
so bad.
Yeah.
And then you saw like he was trying to wake her up. He was like, "Come on, please just turn to me."
It brought back Lion King vibes to me. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it was for sure. Come on, Dad, we gotta get out of here. Come on, Dad. We gotta go home.
I'm not gonna do this. Not in.
And then the
I
people-
did not expect that. When I saw that, when she got hit, I was like, in my mind, consciously, I was like, oh, nah, she dead. Subconsciously, I was like, nah, she can't be
You know what
dead.
sealed it for me? When she said, "You have great power," and with great
That
power, I was
pissed me
like,
off.
"Well, that's it."
That
She
pissed
must
me
have
off. But
And then,
She's dead.
He got shot by the people that's like, "Move." He was like, got shot in the shoulder. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Why y'all gotta keep doing this?
first off, I have a question about that. How he get shot, but when you saw him in the next scene, there was no blood. There was no blood on that shoulder. I was like, hey yo, so I guess you're the impenetrable Spider-Man because clearly.
Never saw you get shot.
Because me and Marcus were talking about it after the show, that shot of him in front of the
billboard.
called.
Yeah.
That was one of the most
It
beautiful
was
things.
so
I feel like
Yeah,
yes,
man.
this movie was beautifully shot. Like
Right.
when after Ame dies, when it's the rain.
Oh yeah.
See, I was like, this looks
That
like
gave
something
me cyberpunk vibes.
that
Exactly.
literally.
That was just so good. And then, of course, after that, seeing Ned be able to use the portals. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't click in my head at first that was Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I was just like, why is Peter taking so long to come here? Come on.
Right.
He's kind of tall. That's not his suit. That's like Andrew Garfield.
Those eyes are real big. Hey.
Wait a minute.
And then once I realized that, I started screaming. I looked at Javon. I was like, ah! And then they brought my boy back, Toby.
Yes.
He looks really old.
He looked rough, bro. Like when he first
Yeah.
walked in, I was like, oh.
Oh, he has seen some better days.
My favorite was My favorite was Andrew Garfield. He actually still is my favorite Spider-Man.
Really?
Whoa,
He
wait.
just comes in with all these
Matter of
characters.
fact, we gonna
I don't like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
I get him off-
never
I'm
have.
with, no, because I'm with him.
I never
him.
have.
He was choice.
I never have liked that Spider-Man.
I,
Get your rent money.
That's what that's what started all this.
yes. You finish your thoughts afterwards?
Pretty much that ending scene, because like I think that him getting, because the symbiote is definitely going after Peter, and he's pretty much at his lowest point. He has no one in his corner.
Yep.
So like the symbiote is pretty much gonna be like, hey, I'll be your friend, and he'll be like, okay. But he has nobody.
Was that?
No, yeah, for me it's definitely top 10. I can't put it top 5. Yeah, I gotta watch a little bit more, get over that fan service part, and be like, it's good.
I never got to rewatch it.
Is it S rank or would you put
Oh
it?
yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Did you say if it was?
Oh, I didn't, but I would 10 out of 10. This
Okay.
was this was
Also, I just want to put in the scene where they all landed on the
Yeah.
thing. Sorry, that was
Great scene.
Great scene. I want to take a picture of it. I missed it. Anyway, I know what happened, so I was like,
Dude was recording the fight.
Yeah, I'm like, bro.
I put him in my draft so I can put it
I
on
wouldn't have been surprised if somebody came like, yeah, you.
Oh no, you can't put them on TikTok.
I swear I did.
Oh.
Well, I did one scene. I didn't put the whole.
Oh, it's still up there because I'm.
They might put it. I mean, it's like to me,
Man.
other content creators did.
So, well, no, I want to say
Like,
Sony
you
is working hard to take them down, so that's why I was
Yeah.
about
I
to
gotta
say.
record the whole movie. It's only this little slip scene.
You know, you recorded like 5 different things.
I deleted that. I deleted that.
And then he went out. When we left at the theater, he was all spoiling. I was like, dude.
Bro, we was for sure loud, and I was like, all right, we should probably walk outside and talk about this because we
We
were
just
just
saw a
like,
bunch of people lining up for tickets, going into the theaters. We're just talking about this, and we're just like,
Man,
"Oh, what's up, guys?" We're just like,
I felt like we should probably be quiet.
That's crazy.
"Remember when it's seen it out?"
I forgot.
Yes.
I walked
I
out.
was like,
I can't believe y'all was over there spoiling the spot.
I literally walked out like, man, I can
Man,
do myself
I-
Toby and Andrew. They're like, why would you say that? I'm like, they can't hear me. It's like,
no, he didn't just say, I can't believe or something. No, he came and was like, Toby and Andrew are in it. And I was like, bro,
Yeah, that's what I said.
why? What is wrong with you? We went to we saw this on a Sunday. You know how easy it would have been for us to got spoiled? I had to delete my Instagram
Oh
and
no, I was
Facebook.
definitely off of social
No, I
media.
didn't. Whenever
Oh,
I
no.
saw Spider-Man scroll. So
I
I
was
was scroll.
I was in the lunch or the snack line, and then there was a kid get behind me like, oh, I know some spoilers, and talking to his dad, I was like, shut up.
Bro, somebody at work almost was like, yeah, just when it starts like, shut up.
Oh, I already said. I was like, listen, you got one time to say something Spider-Man related. I'm going to see to it that you in Facebook did. I don't care. I'm going to report that your stuff is racist.
Racist. What do you say? Talking about Spider-Man.
Racist.
Wait, the new one? Yes. Book him. Get him Johnson.
Get him out, sicko.
Because literally said that we not talk about it until at least a week or so go by.
So for me, my expectations were actually the opposite of everybody. Mine were actually pretty low. Like, because they were doing the multiverse thing, I was like, bro, this can go either really well or horrible. And I was like, I don't know, y'all ain't stick the landing with Far From Home, so let's see, because getting all these Spider-Men in here and all these characters we saw with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3, what it was like trying to juggle 3 characters and how that looked horrible. So I was just like, ooh, I don't know. With Topher Grace and Eddie Brock. Like, so I was like, ooh, we gonna see. But as we got close to it, and as, you know, I'm seeing new things show up, and I'm seeing like, okay, maybe Toby, maybe Andrew might be in it, but you know, Marvel is real good with like faking you out, thing like, because we all thought that Mephisto was gonna be in WandaVision.
Mm-hmm. Okay, to be fair, that was fan expectation.
That is true.
That's because we was over here shooting for the stars, and they was like, oh shoot, I don't even know who that is. Who is Mephisto?
It's like, but this time fan expectation actually worked out, because everybody with Charlie Cox showing up in the what's I was like, you know, he's gonna need a defense lawyer. Charlie Cox, Daredevil. Mm-hmm. That, as you clearly saw, that happened. So as we got closer, I was like, all right, this could turn out well. Went to see the movie. Easily top 3 Spider-Man. Probably my top 1. Under is probably Spider-Man 2, and then the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Wait, which?
The Spider-Man, like the original Spider-Man.
Oh,
that's amazing. This is Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm about to say, okay.
Yeah.
That's how I was wondering. I was curious.
But my issues that I had with it, and we can get into like issues we had later, but for me, like, it is an S rank, but once I like sat back and was like, there was some clunky dialogue, especially with Jamie Foxx's Electro. It was some clunky dialogue that I was like, he just like, yeah, he's cool, but he's just like trying a bit too hard to be funny. And I was just like, you're undercutting a lot of serious moments with jokes. And I feel like that's the MCU's thing, like, especially after
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok, but after Aunt May dies, it's like we get like a split second of like, oh yeah, morning, and then it's jokes. And I was like, all right, there's no way after he just lost the pivotal point in his person in his life, and now it's back to the jokes.
I mean, considering the point that they're going, like, yes, Aunt May died. I mean, yes, it's sad, but we still got a bigger thing to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, and jokes help lighten the mood.
That's true.
But we're still dealing with the other. Oh yeah, Aunt May got killed. Unfortunately, that's sad. But we can mourn later. Right now, we have to take out these anomalies that's in your universe right now. So yeah, like, let's lighten up the mood a little bit, but we still gonna take care of this. Because after they did it, he went to go see her after he went everybody.
And I'm not saying that hurts the what's called anymore at all. Like, I still think it's S-rank, still think it's the greatest. It was just like, just the nitpicky movie watcher.
I can see what
and he was just like, y'all could have probably done something like that.
For Electro's dialogue, I can see like how you would say it was like corny. But Spider-Man, like, overall, like, in the Spider-Man movies, like, Spider-Man is a teenager, so he's kind of like a corny kid himself. So like, if you got to take that in perspective and like just see how they can adapt from those like comic books and like the shows that are in movies and stuff that we've seen already before, and then kind of continuing with it. And then like Jamie Foxx, like, that kind of was just, I feel like he kind of just put his own thing on his script and was like, yo, I'm gonna say this, and then like it kind of didn't hit the way he wanted it to.
Yeah, like, it was 70% of his jokes was just like.
I thought it was funny.
I thought some of his stuff was fine. Like, I get what you're saying though, but I also think about the fact that Jamie Foxx himself.
It's just not funny.
No, he's funny, but it depends on what it is. It depends on really what it is. And I feel like I cut him some slack because this is only the second time he was this character.
True.
Yeah, and also, but the first time he was this character, it was completely played differently. Like, his
exactly.
first character was really nerdy. he had no like swag to him or like he had a whole fresh fade in this
Yeah,
one.
they didn't make a joke about that. They didn't make a joke about that. Like, oh, you cut your hair.
You got the comb over it.
Yeah, like you got a whole fade, and who gets your lineup?
Right? What's his lips? Wait, what?
Are you using the beard guard that Doctor Strange is using? Cause
That was like, yeah, that boy is solid. Wow.
But honestly, like, you know, that didn't take me too out of the movie, but the rest of the movie I really like. Like, definitely full of fan service. I did say, like, at one point I did lean over to Trejon, like, are you getting frustrated with this too? Because there was a lot of pacing issues, and I was like, bro, how? I was like,
especially when Peter started talking to MJ, those felt like it was stinking forever. I was like, all right, can we get to Sinister Six? I want to see him fight.
But I think
it really was only Fatal 5.
yeah.
I think looking back, they did kind of prioritize a couple of villains over another because like you've barely seen Sandman and Lizard at all.
But really, the bad guy in this,
Green Goblin.
yeah, I feel like he was the main
Green
Right.
Goblin wasn't it? That's the one really it was one that really the main Spider-Man connected to because that's the one that actually like affected him the most. He killed Aunt May.
But I think also that kind of came in was the fact that Sandman. I mean,
he's not necessarily a villain.
and I can get that.
Right,
He
he
turned
was
the crime to pay child support.
Well, no, but even at the end of his movie, like he wasn't a villain afterwards, and even in this one, he's not really the villain because he just like, hey yo, I want to go home.
Yeah.
The Lizard is like, hey, I want to turn you into a lizard. You'll be better that way. You'll be better that way. And everybody's like, you're creepy. And you just want to go home, and I can't argue with that.
So the only two people that gave off villain vibes was Electro and Green Goblin. So once they fixed Doc Ock's like tentacles, he was like, oh my god, I can hear.
Yeah.
Like,
Sandman at the end though, he was fighting them, trying to go against them though.
That's because initially when he saw Sandman and Sandman like, hey, what's going on? He helped him.
Yeah, he helped him the first time. That's what I'm saying.
But then when he got transferred to the thing, he's like, well, I don't trust anybody now. Like,
Exactly.
So when Sandman initially came in to help with Electro and stuff, he's like, I don't know what's going on. This, that, and other. I was doing this, and now I'm here. It's like, well, he initially just wanted to go home. But when he got sent to the little portal prison place, that made his whole trusting Spider-Man went left. Like, why am I in here? Like, what's going on? You're not the Peter out there, like all that stuff. So
I think it was more so when he saw Electro get serious, like, what'd you do? Did you kill him?
Exactly.
You killed him.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's
no,
what
I didn't. I just
that's what happened.
Yeah, which I thought was weird. I was just like, wait, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then I had to remember, oh yeah, his character was irrational in part in Spider-Man 3. So I was just like, okay, I mean, at least you're consistent, I guess. At least you're consistently crazy. All right.
Wait, did Sandman die in something?
No, he disappeared.
No, he just like
wait. So he was the only outlier in what Doctor Strange said.
Well, no,
him and
Lizard. Because Lizard
Lizard never
died.
dies.
Everyone who goes back eventually dies.
Yeah.
They didn't die. They lied to me.
Also, why did it take the whole movie for Sandman to get his skin back? I just want to know that because the whole movie he was in sand form.
Well, that was because the actor originally couldn't be in it. So this movie and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness both got reshoots because Tobey Maguire didn't sign his contract to be in the movie until the 9th hour. Which is why we get a whole trailer for Doctor Strange at the end of this. Because that movie had severe reshoots to the point of they had to push the movie back. Because Tobey Maguire actually was supposed to be in that.
In Multiverse of Madness?
What? He was supposed to be in that, and because this whole movie is supposed to continue into Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange was actually supposed to come out before this. That was when you were supposed to see Tobey Maguire and all the issues with some of those villains, which would have led into this. But that movie was terrible, so they were like, hey. Let's fix this and let's, push this back. And then, in the COVID situation and everything, that pushed all that back. But that movie was so bad that they was like, hey, we have to reshoot this entire thing. Because Hugh Jackman was hinting at the fact that he was in Doctor Strange. But they had to reshoot everything, and then COVID happened, and then, a lot of people can't get on the set. So, both movies got changed, dramatically. Which is why we only get 2 minutes of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Well, since we're just on the topic of characters, let's get right into the characters. So, obviously, we've already talked about it. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, both of them showed up in this movie. What were you guys' thoughts?
Oh no, from the. I mean, obviously we all kind of knew they were gonna be popping up, like just from like fan services, like Trey Johnson. I feel like that's kind of what made the movie kind of really pop up, was because people knew that this multiverse collision was gonna be happening. So I mean, I'm glad they did it. Like I said, Tobey Maguire looked rough coming in from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I kind of like how they did with the initial like opening with him not actually wearing the suit and wearing it underneath his clothes, because it kind of like showed that old like classic superhero kind of feeling. Nah, Superman does the open chest, and Spider-Man does it too. Like in the end of the last Spider-Man movie, he's running like the cut scene from him. He's like running, and he's just like some Superman type.
And nobody noticed that. Like, hey, that guy's Spider-Man.
Like, hey,
hey, Doctor Strange.
Hey, Dr. Strange, can you fix this, please?
Right.
Doctor Strange, no. But yeah, like I like how that they had that aspect of it, and Andrew Garfield, like although I'm not gonna say I completely don't dislike his movies. I know you like them. You like them. I don't completely dislike the movies, but I do say he did it better in this movie than he has in the two Amazing Spider-Mans that he did. I would say that he did completely better.
I like his. I guess I like his Spider-Man version. I don't know, somebody is quirky.
Yeah, he's the best Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would agree. I do like the Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't like him as Peter, but I did like him.
Exactly. I think he's the better Spider-Man because he was a lot more quick.
Yeah, I think he's the better. I don't think we've actually gotten a good Spider-Man and a good Peter Parker. I think we've gotten okay ones.
I think this current one will probably be the best. Due to the ending, it's a step in the right direction.
Yes, because I feel like Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man, a terrible Peter Parker. I think Tobey Maguire is a terrible Peter Parker, and even worse Spider-Man.
We got noise right now.
But I would say this: I take both of them over Tom Holland, because Tom Holland Spider-Man and Peter Parker, I felt about him the same way I felt about Deku in the first season of My Hero. I was
Jesus coming at you. He is shooting everybody in this podcast.
I just felt like I was like, oh my gosh, please stop. Just stop.
I ain't gonna jump. I feel the same way. That is a hill I'm gonna die. I do not like Tom Holland as Spider-Man I like him as Peter Parker. Don't like him as Spider-Man.
I like him as Spider-Man.
I like him as Spider-Man too.
I feel like this ending, we're gonna jump around now. The ending puts him back at base one. The Spider-Man that we all know, the working man Spider-Man.
But I liked him when he showed up in Civil War.
Like I was like,
he wasn't even supposed to be in it.
But he was there. Nobody was there.
We were happy to see him. Don't get me wrong. Everybody except Chris was
I won't lie. I was like, oh, Spider-Man, cool. But that whole scene, and you can tell that was not for him because how it was set up, it just didn't make sense. Yeah. Like, you have Black Panther T'Challa who had an issue with Bucky this entire time. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he just immediately chose a side. Yeah. Just for Spider-Man to get in, and Spider-Man actually was a last minute choice. Yeah. And was actually Spider-Man's whole thing in this movie was supposed to be Black Panther.
He was Team Iron Man.
He was Team Iron Man. And that's how it is in the comic books. It does start off like, he's Team Iron Man, and then the whole ramifications of him telling who he is. He's like, yo, you said my family will be safe. I mean,
stuff happens.
Like, come on, man, I'm the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. What you want me to do, huh?
Yeah.
Later he changes sides and still has to do the one more day thing, which this loosely is based on. But, again, I don't like, this guy is bankrolled by a billionaire. Like, that's not the Spider-Man I know. Like,
not even that. Like, it's like, dude, you are the most codependent superhero I've ever seen. Like, I'm like, yo.
He's a teenager. That's his thing. He's a teenager.
Okay, you can't use that as an excuse.
So you mean to tell me if you became a superhero, you would not be codependent on no one?
You cannot use that as an excuse. The reason why you can't use that as an excuse is because you are in the same world where you have other teenage superheroes, like we're seeing with, for instance, Kate Bishop, who is a bona fide. She's a child. She's a child, but she's a young adult. Yeah. But she's a bona fide hero basically without the name.
Yeah.
But she's still reckless. You saw that she tried to help Hawkeye and fell to the floor and caught
That
him
was kind of
so
funny.
That was, yeah.
So she still makes mistakes. She's
Yes,
just like
I mean, but all heroes make mistakes. But for Tom Holland, like this dude, first off, okay.
First of all, Kate Bishop is a stalker. She called Hawkeye like 30 times, leaving voice messages.
That was kind of fun.
All right, you gonna answer my calls, dang it. Like,
Where you being, Clint? I think it's real funny how you think you just played me like this, Clint.
Next message. Hey, I'm sorry if I was overstepping.
Yeah, I apologize.
Jumping back.
Sorry.
Jumping back to the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. Like, I agree. Like, Tom Holland. Now this puts him back at this kind of like a soft reboot to me of Spider-Man's character. Like, he's now.
Well, you got to break that.
We're just getting over that. Like,
Spider-Man needed to be rebooted though.
Yeah, but now this is like, okay, now he has felt the weight of losing somebody close to him because clearly the big Uncle Ben dying meant nothing to him.
I gotta say this. I don't think Uncle Ben exists.
I don't think he does.
But he does because you got that bag in Far From Home, the Benjamin Jefferson Parker. Like
I don't think that's.
I feel like he was. If that's so, I feel like he wasn't as connected with him as the other universes or the other Spider-Man.
I don't think he exists.
I think Aunt May was his Uncle Ben.
Exactly. I think Aunt May. It was just Aunt May. Like I don't think there was an Uncle Ben in this universe. It was just her, and she basically was Uncle Ben and Aunt May in one character.
I believe that because you would think they would reflect to that like at some point throughout the films.
Yes, and Aunt May would have said something, but she said nothing. And even when it came down to her dating Happy, she would have said something about the fact that like, oh dang, I haven't dated since insert right. But so I don't think he exists. So I'm like, all right, well. You know, I guess. I guess he had.
So this would be Spider-Man's first tragic, second tragic loss.
Tom Holland verse,
Yeah, because Iron Man, I guess, was technically closer to his Uncle Ben, kind of.
That was like his mentor.
Because that was like his father figure.
Yeah. But
if you were to compare it to him.
But I feel like, well, we're gonna get back to Tom Holland because there's a bunch that the ending does for Tom Holland, but. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, love them being on scene together. I love the quirkiness of all the Spider-Men being together. They're all just super nerdy, like that scene when they're all in the what's called like, yo, they are nerds. I feel like Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man didn't really focus on the nerdy thing in his movies.
Yeah.
Not as heavy as like.
Except for that chemistry part when they were, or not chemistry part, but when they're all making the formulas for the cures and stuff.
Yeah, this is more so like, oh yeah, Tobey Maguire is still like,
smart.
He's still a nerd and whatnot, but I feel like that wasn't represented in his own.
You got that with Andrew Garfield.
Oh, in the movies.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like I feel like this movie definitely provides a lot of closure for both of them. Like this kind of feels like a sequel for them as well. You know?
I don't think this is closure though.
Really?
I don't think this is closure. The reason why I say that is because if you think about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, his Spider-Man is very reminiscent of The Dark Knight Returns. Because he said when Gwen Stacy died, he became a more brutal Spider-Man.
Yeah, he stopped pulling his punches.
Exactly.
He could have been killing people.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, oh shoot, Spider-Man out here.
Because we've seen in the comics when Doc Ock takes over his body, he punches Scorpion, he punches his jaw off.
I was like, oh.
He's been holding on back this whole time.
He could have killed all of them.
This man could have slept me and he chose not to.
So I think he might end up being, I think Andrew Garfield might end up being Venom Spider-Man.
But then again, I feel like with him saving MJ, I feel like because he could never do that with Gwen, I'm sure like he's like been playing this in mind, like, how could I have done this? How could I have, done this? And, I could have probably, and now you see when MJ's falling, it's framed almost the exact same way as when.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't use his web to save her.
Now he's like, I should have just caught her instead.
Well, he uses his web, but he realizes the same thing he do in the comic book. If you web somebody and they're free falling, they're gonna snap their neck.
Right.
Like it's just
he
how.
snapped her spine. He snapped Gwen's spine. I thought.
Her head hit the back. Her back of her head hit the concrete.
In reality, I feel like the back of your head hitting that speed just splattered the back of your head.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like
it was like it just started pulling the way up like.
Oh,
I still think it was good closure for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man because now he knows I was actually able to save someone in this same predicament.
Yeah.
But when are you watching?
He started crying too. He was like,
right. She's like, you good?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just.
are you okay? But like you said, this movie made me like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man a lot more. Like, and I like the banter that they're having back and forth. He's like, yo, you're not lame. Like, yo, say it with me. You're amazing. You're amazing. Like, you need to have this like.
I like Get Out. I said that to the screen. Like, Get Out. Go ahead.
Because I feel like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield is the only of the Spider-Man on screen that does not get a full trilogy. Like, regardless of how bad Tobey Maguire's trilogy, that ending was.
There was still.
Yeah, he still had a trilogy. Andrew Garfield is the only one like
they for real like put up a whole plot line like at the end like the Sinister Six was about to come back in the next one and like he was fighting Rhino at the end and then he mentioned that in the new one like the only thing I've ever done was fight a mechanical Rhino, which that probably says that he probably didn't fight the Sinister Six they could have really they probably can do more because there's more to that story that they can close it on, but
during the multiverse rip, you saw like the silhouettes of like the Rhino,
Scorpion.
You saw
Craven.
You saw Craven right there.
Spear,
I think you also saw Morbius too.
Yep.
You saw Morbius. Well. That's why I think like we are gonna end up getting another Spider-Man movie. But we're not Tom Holland, but Andrew Garfield's getting another Spider-Man movie. But
he was trending on Twitter, them asking, was it Sony?
Yeah, for Amazing Spider-Man 3.
They said I see something that Tom Holland did confirm. Well, Tom Holland confirmed that it was supposed to be another.
Andy Pascal, the leader over Sony, has already said he's getting 3 new movies.
Yeah, I think Andrew Garfield is, but he's going because Venom doesn't have a Spider-Man. Venom was his own universe. Yeah. So I think Andrew Garfield, because I don't think Tobey Maguire is going to be Spider-Man. I think.
No. His time is done.
Right. I think the only way he'll come back, I think he will see him again, but it'll be Into the Spider-Verse, an actual Spider-Verse movie. And we'll see, because I thought they were going to hint at in this movie that he had a daughter and that Mayday was the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right. I thought so with the whole scene where they was in the lab. I thought they was going to say, he was going to mention Mayday. I was like, yo, if they mention, oh my gosh. Yeah. But I think, Andrew will make sense for Venom. Yeah. For that to be his Spider-Man. Yeah. And Toby come back and he dies as Spider-Man.
Man. In a Spider-Verse movie?
Yeah, Spider-Verse movie, he dies. That would make sense.
Honestly, I can see that, but right now, because of the place that Tom is in, because he's alone and probably still dealing with the death of Aunt May, I feel like they're probably going to go directly into he gets the black suit. Maybe not Venom. I would like to see them flesh out him having the black suit for a while in the movie.
Oh, no. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Which is why I think the next villain we're going to get is Mr. Negative.
Go on.
I'm about to say, so did all of y'all play Spider-Man?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so literally, this Aunt May dies in that game, just
with she was a part the
person that was working with her in the feast. We don't see who's working with her. We just think she's doing it by herself. Yeah. The one person that was working with her was the dude that's Mr. Negative. Mm-hmm. And we already see Kingpin show up.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna get Mr. Negative and Kingpin. And because he don't have nobody, we're gonna get him in that black suit. But I think in between him getting in the black suit and being in that Spider-Man movie, and whenever we see Eddie Brock, I think it is gonna be a long stretch of him because when the next
Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, you saying?
I don't think
they're gonna do Tom Hardy.
No. I think we might see another Eddie Brock, but it'll be a more brutal Eddie Brock.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah,
because I'm tired of seeing Disco seeing Venom.
I didn't see.
You guys love me.
I still hate that.
Eddie was wrong.
I think that Venom is worse than the one from Spider-Man 3.
No.
I
actually like Tom Hardy's Venom. I do too.
I hate both.
Yeah, no. No.
I don't like what they tried. I don't like what they tried to do with that Venom. Because Venom, like we talk about it, Venom is a ruthless character.
Yeah.
So what they tried to,
I'm a loser.
Exactly, right.
The first Spider-Man 3 from Tobey Maguire, I said it. Nah, he didn't really have like a consciousness though, like the symbiote did. It was all just Eddie Brock. So like you really didn't see kind of how, because
he was ruthless.
Well, yeah, it was ruthless, but like it doesn't like the symbiote like communicate with Eddie Brock, making him but like this one didn't. You don't really see that part of the symbiote. And
Yeah.
You don't really know.
I'm taking over your body and nothing you can do about it.
But I think that's because they. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair too, it's just like they wanted a Venom that wasn't just, and it's PG-13, which is my problem with every single Venom movie we've had.
Yeah.
Is the fact that like, hey yo, why you got a Carnage movie and that thing say PG-13?
Man,
Which is why I still to this day have not seen Venom Let There Be Carnage, because I refuse to watch it because I was like, it's PG-13.
It's
No, but
this man Carnage has thrown babies out of windows. We ain't get nothing like that in this movie.
That's what I mean. Like when it comes to certain villains or characters,
was kind of violent.
you need. Yeah, it was a couple violence.
He stuck his whole tongue in that dude's mouth.
But it was like,
oh, yeah, you like this? Oh no!
But no, with certain characters, we need that rated R goreness. Those two people over they can't see it, but those people over there need rated R movies because Venom and especially Carnage. Carnage is a savage.
yeah, and
That's the pure magic. So no, like that movie was okay, bro. It was like very low tier, but it was.
The only thing that
wasn't even on the tier.
The post-credit scene is the only thing that.
oh, that's how I watch the post-credit scene. So that's all I need to know. All right,
that's it.
That was it.
That's
so,
all.
but so speaking of Venom, the post scene. Sorry, I didn't know that. Finish off. So the post scene.
We're gonna get to that in a second.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that after. Anybody got anything else to say on Tom Holland, Andrew and Toby being on scene?
I'm glad.
I did like that.
I don't know how he didn't die from getting stabbed.
Oh,
I figured he was.
Because he's been stabbed before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So.
and I'm about to say you can get stabbed in the. To be fair, you can get stabbed in it and you be okay.
The scene just made
But they made it so dramatic. They're like they thought it would have been a death doing blow, but he's like, got up. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Also, I don't like that they stopped Tom from killing him.
No, I feel like that scene right there.
I love how they did it.
Because literally he says no words, but he's like, no, because I know what this road is gonna lead you down. Like if you kill this man, it's gonna lead you down a dark place, and I don't want that. But he didn't have to say nothing.
He was putting his hands on him though, bro. Like,
bro, he was like,
He was hitting him in the ribs.
He grabbed him, put him up in the air, grabbed him again. Like,
but no, let's talk about how Green Goblin was giving him the hands in that bitch. This man was
I was sitting next to my friend. I was sitting here. I'm like, yo, see, this is why I can confidently say Tom Holland is trash as Spider-Man. Bro, you can fold it. You can fold it through a whole apartment building. No Spider-Man in the history of Spider-Man has gotten folded by they villain using in an apartment building. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
The amount of damage he did within 10 minutes of the movie.
Exactly.
We're going to get into the villains at this point. When you see Tom punching...
And he just laughing.
I was like, no! Or something, bro. Like, that was gave me Joker vibe. I mean, Green Goblin obviously is crazy like that, but like, I was thinking about Joker too. Like,
And the thing is, Green Goblin, for the most part, like, definitively is the antithesis to any Spider-Man. Like, he kills Gwen Stacy in the original comics. He kills,
He killed Aunt May?
He tried to kill Aunt May.
Yeah,
he killed Aunt May in this.
Yeah, he tried to kill Aunt May. He also killed his son.
Yeah.
He also killed his son. He also lied to Peter and said he slept with his girlfriend and had children by her.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it.
That's I just want to know. You guys,
know the sauce.
But yeah, going into jumping back real quick. I just love how they help Tom Holland's Peter, during this moment, like, yo, we understand what you've been through. Like, we didn't lose Aunt May.
You don't
but
understand.
we lost somebody close. Like, for me, it was Gwen. For me, it was Uncle Ben.
See, the line so the line they said when they were like, hey, you know, and then, you know, it just wasn't your fault. I was like, actually,
It was.
All of y'all, this is your fault.
Y'all should have sent him back. Like, y'all should have sent these villains back.
Well, not even that. I was like, well, you let Uncle Ben die because you were just being petty.
Mm-hmm.
You decided you didn't know even though you are as brilliant as you are, you didn't understand how
You don't know
gravity
physics,
works.
right?
You apparently forgot physics. And then Tom Holland, you was just irresponsible. Like you've just been irresponsible and crazy this whole time. So
you would think after, I mean, and of course, everybody wants to throw the whole, he's a kid, he's in high school, like, but you would think after fighting aliens, dealing with the blip, dealing with all these adult people, you would make mature decisions then.
Well, you
Was
know,
he with it?
you
Was
still got
he
Peter
trying to
Quill,
send
he's
her
a
back
full
at first?
adult.
Then Aunt May was the one that told him that he couldn't do it.
Yeah, Aunt May was like, no, if you can help these people, you need to help them.
If you
It's
can
like,
do something. So
Aunt
really
May
think about it.
is
She
not a
decided her own fate. because
exactly,
she influenced
she's
Aunt May.
not a superhero. You were in space.
like, if I had the choice of sending Thanos to a different dimension or trying to reform him, that nigga is going to the negative zone.
Listen, understand, you fought Thanos. You understood on that battlefield that, hey, yo, if we don't stop him now, he's killing everyone.
Yes.
I mean, but
He was on a lower
most of them
scale.
villains ain't on Thanos level.
They're not, but in the same, but even on
You
that
really think
mindset,
any of them?
They are not on that. No, I'm not saying.
You really think any of them in their current form is on the same tier as Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet?
No.
But you would think on the level of, okay, I've dealt with something of a higher caliber than this. I should be able to make a smart choice of, well, because they're gonna die, let's save them.
Like,
Like,
you probably
no.
didn't think the repercussions
You
of
are
his
not a
actions would be
therapist.
that fatal of him losing one of the closest people that he
And
loves and
then,
endears.
and he was curing them though.
First of all,
And
no, that was about semantics.
He was cured.
That was about luck.
He
cured Doc Ock, and everybody was like, oh yeah, this good, cut. And then Green Goblin was like, hey, I got a different personality. They gave them
Identity disorder. All right, that's
It was Electro. Electro was always on the face. Let's put that out there. He
Yeah.
wasn't like he's still like, well, I don't know, man. I was a loser back. Okay, if you want something, we got it. We should take it. It was Green Goblin. Stupid.
He started losing his power. He's like, I feel weird.
I don't feel so good.
Why my chest feel like this?
Exactly.
Oh, we
So
gonna
I don't
discharge you a little
necessarily
bit.
blame Peter.
I blame
cured.
I blame
him.
Peter.
Dr.
I
James
blame-
clearly told him.
Well, Peter wanted to send him back in the beginning. I told you, it was literally Aunt May that kind of influenced him. It was like,
That
if
is
you
true.
can do something to help these people before you send them back to die,
First
then
of all,
you should do
it
it
was
because that's what
Green
you are.
Goblin
That's
that
the
said
person
that.
you are.
Right.
It was because of Green Goblin. She said
And
that.
then dude was in the back stealing donuts.
Right, but at a certain point, you understand the fact that, like, listen, I understand that, like, at a certain point, listen, some people you gotta wipe them off the board.
Yeah.
Like,
You do. Electro.
again, you fought Thanos twice.
Yeah.
And you understood after that first time when he blipped you and you came back, he's not playing. Like,
Yeah.
You
he-
would think that, right?
right, and it's that, and that's my problem with the fact that, like, you don't learn.
Yeah.
Like, Tom Holland's character has not learned anything
but
until the
in
third
terms of
movie.
Spider-Man, he didn't really. Well, the first one with Thanos, he wasn't even like the key piece. Peter Quill was, and he twice he didn't do anything.
But
I mean, no, but you at this point you understand the weight of the situation.
Right.
Fighting people like this.
right, but learning
Not on
from
the same level.
But this goes back to even, you can use Peter Quill. You saw that situation. You saw what happened when you let your emotions run wild. You saw also what happened when you let certain situations get out of hand and you don't handle it.
Yeah.
And you saw literally, you died because of it. Like, that's why. And
I
that
don't
was,
think it was really emotion that really made his decision. I just think it was defining himself as a true hero that really pushed him to that
Emotions.
final moment.
You
I would
can't-
say
you
emotion
can't
would be
say-
like, I did this because you killed somebody, or I did this because, or like.
Like emotions would be like Peter trying to kill Green Goblin.
but it was his
But
emotions.
that's his job. That's basically a duty. It's not an emotion. It's a
He
duty.
was being sympathetic to the villains because once he found out that if he sent them back, they were going to die. He was like, we can do something.
And that's
They
right.
have to go
As
back
a
to
duty,
die. That's
as a hero, you're supposed to be able to save people.
Exactly. Because
them
it all
being
goes
good
back
or
to
evil.
what Aunt May said.
Destroy one, save million.
With great power must also come great
Get out.
responsibility.
Right,
Like,
yes. But also that responsibility means, hey, if you gotta put this person down
To save
to
millions?
save them, listen. Again, back to Thanos. If they would have tried to reason with Thanos and say, "Hey,
T'Challa
listen,"
did it.
totally different situation. Okay. If T'Challa, even if T'Challa was in this situation, he'd be like, "Hey, yo, no."
Yeah.
Like, even if Tony Stark was alive, Tony would have told him, "Hey, yo, they from where? No, you don't know. You don't even know what their stories are.
Right.
Send them back."
Like, what happens to them happens.
Yeah,
But then we wouldn't have this movie.
Because Tony would have told him. Because Tony would have.
They're still human, and the job of a superhero
Lizard
is to
is
save
not
them.
human.
That's what I'm saying.
Lizard is a
The Lizard wasn't even in. He had like 3 minutes of screen time in a 2-hour movie.
Oh my God! I was like,
He was
I know
in the
what
trouble.
we do. I know we
He
can do.
was shown on the
We can
film.
turn you to lizards. Like we can
So we can turn you to a lizard. Exactly.
Can we also just say that Lizard was so creepy? Like,
He's
Yeah.
supposed to be. He's supposed to be.
I mean, no, he was creepy on a
Did he
different
talk?
level.
He did.
Until
They
he
talked
did
in this
talk.
movie.
He did.
Like,
No, I'm talking
telling
about in
you,
the second
but
one.
creepy.
Yeah, Amazing. Okay, yeah.
In Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, he talks.
talking in there.
Yeah.
He looked
His
horrible
British
in that
accent.
Yeah.
Yes. I can turn you all to lizards. It's a great evolution.
That does not sound
That's
British. That
Australian.
sounds quite Australian.
Stop judging my
I was
eyes.
like working on it.
Working on it. But no, like I just feel like he should have been more responsible. I think that even Doctor Strange told him like that's like we have to do like even though he was like I said the whole securing him thing.
I can't wait for
And
us to
Doctor
talk
Strange
about
came
Doctor
back and he
Strange.
kind of even saw
Yeah.
what Peter was doing, and he was at that point, or before, he didn't agree with what he was doing, but when he saw it actually
Working.
happening, he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." Like,
I mean, they did have a good scene of Tom Holland or Peter Parker's nerdness when he had beat Doctor Strange using math.
Yeah.
When he was showing like all the rocks.
That part was
tiny
cool.
little
That was
rocks.
sweet.
You know
That
what?
was sweet. That might be my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, the map scene was pretty cool. I did like when he was in the mirror world. He was like, "Oh snap, this is like geometry. So if I just shoot here, shoot here, shoot here, shoot here, shoot here, shoot here," and then when he pull the string and he kind of like
Yeah.
clapped him in.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. And also, I also found out that he can't do that little circle thing without that ring. I didn't know. I thought he
He
could
didn't
just-
know. He can.
I
Yeah.
thought it literally was his hand once he learned the art of sorcery.
No, because he
Nah,
ain't
it
the
was
Sorcerer Supreme yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the whole, because he got blipped, right?
Mhm.
So Wong can do it without it, right?
Probably so.
Didn't we see him do that already?
Yeah, actually.
Matter of fact,
Yeah, I think.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, let's go on back. How'd that, what's called just open? That's, all right.
Mhm.
So yeah, because when he said like, "Oh, why are you not?" I thought you were. I was Sorcerer Supreme, but then when we got banished. it
Actually, he was never
automatically-
Sorcerer Supreme.
Mhm.
He didn't.
He was about to be.
He was in line to
Yeah.
be Sorcerer
But
Supreme,
he got
and then he got
blipped,
blipped,
so-
so that
Yeah,
put
yeah,
him
He
under
won't want to take the
Wong.
Yeah.
So wait, how does he get that back though?
I mean, Wong has to die.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, so he's automatically just.
Because the
Either-
other Sorcerer Supreme didn't leave, she died, so that mean, I guess she could have been.
Unless there just has to be like a. Who votes on that?
I know, right? Like-
Well, there is actually 3 people that's supposed to vote, or does vote on that. But I don't think Wong's gonna die. I think Wong's gonna give it up.
Okay.
So you can relinquish the title of Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes,
Okay.
I think
that Wong will probably be like a Rhodey thing where he's unable to be Sorcerer Supreme. Like he probably gets injured and it's like you have to be it.
He do get messed up. Looks like he get messed up in this trailer.
Mhm.
For that new Doctor Strange trailer.
Exactly. I think in this new movie he'll probably just get messed up, and then after the end of this, when he fights, when he fights the evil version of him,
Yeah.
he'll end up becoming the Sorcerer Supreme.
this is so frustrating because I don't like the way they keep making this dude Doctor Strange incompetent. Like I don't understand how you learn from the greatest wizard that ever graced this earth and you still make crazy decisions. It's
Because
like,
he's always been that way.
it's
That's
like
just
why? It's like why?
And bullhead, that's all I call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Everything
just.
he thinks is what he does.
Bush.
Yeah.
It's like why?
So like that scene, like the scene he was, I'm about to bring it back when he initially did the spell to erase people, and then Peter was like, Peter started messing up in the middle of like, you cannot do this while I'm doing mid incantation.
Yeah.
What about MJ? Okay. Yeah.
So MJ, no.
Oh, but okay, go on Ned. Okay,
Ned?
Ned. Oh, we can't forget our mate. Okay. But everybody else listen.
That guy that I saw at the bus stop that one day, I feel like we connected on a personal level.
Like, listen.
Peter,
I-
stop. For Christ's sake.
Looking back at the end credit scene, I think he can still get back to Doctor Strange and like maybe not jog his memory, be like, we've seen each other in a previous lifetime or something. Because it's like you can mention something that only like Someone who's been there would know, like that. What was it called?
Or
The Citadel of whatever. The place they cast that spell.
the spell.
Oh.
Or just even mention the spell, and then Doctor Strange would know like what the spell does.
Like there are ways to get the what's called.
That's what I would think, considering he's a sorcerer supreme.
Well,
He's not.
So he's basically like
He's a
Jaws
sorcerer.
get his memory back.
Or something, because I feel like he can see all the. He can see into. Can he see into the multiverse?
no.
Is that why he wants to Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Scarlet Witch is a
she-
Nexus being, so she like.
She can see into the multiverse.
Okay, but Strange can't.
No.
Okay, that's fine. I thought he had the power to do that. Well, you learn something every day. So yeah, that scene was cool though. But then the fact that he had to condense it because he changed it so much, and he was like, all right, well now this is here, and because you did this, all this happening.
Which, if you look at it, that's like the same kind of sphere that they used in What
Yeah,
If.
in
when
What
they
If.
used that universe versus Killmonger and
Arnim Zola.
Arms old
Yeah.
Vanola.
Arnim Granola. Yep. That.
It was a mother box. I don't care what nobody says.
It's the mother box.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I was just about to say. Damn, I don't remember. What I was about to say. It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
So jumping into characters, we get Tom. Well, going through the cast because there are a bunch of people. So we get Tom Holland reprising his role as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. We get Benedict Cumberbatch. Is it Batch? or
Cumberbatch.
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 Reprising his role as Doctor Strange.
Like Cabbage Patch.
What is
Cat- J.K. Simmons is reprising his role as J. Jonah Jameson, who apparently after this whole thing gets a more professional-looking setup.
So is that the same James Jordan Jameson from the first universe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
No,
No, it's the same actor, but is that the same?
No. It's
Okay.
it's just
It happens.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
you
So I
know.
was like,
But weirdly enough, they do in the first Spider-Man universe with Tobey, Jameson
Mention Spider-Man? Doctor Strange?
That's
Yes.
like, it's good. It's taken.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the,
So maybe in that universe they do have a Doctor Strange, and or that was just legal things with Sony and Marvel.
Because I don't know how that works. That's why when I heard like, so wait, is there a Doctor Strange?
I think that'll be interesting in Multiverse of Madness that you do see that
Yeah.
that Doctor Strange, but he looks older.
That would make
That shit,
sense.
I heard that shit, but yeah, 'cause I was confused about that myself. So I don't know if the Jameson, like you was just saying about the James Jameson, is that the same person? Yeah. So
We get even though it was brief and we all knew it was coming, Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock.
I was so hyped for that.
And we knew that he was coming, but even when he showed up, it was like, yo, Matt Murdock is on camera right now.
Like, I ain't gonna hold you
I'm a
up.
brother.
If a blind man catches something that's thrown through the window,
Yeah.
backhands it, you ain't blind. I'm calling you out on the spot. I'm like, yo, take your glasses off.
Right.
Take them off. Stare at my eyes.
How many fingers am I holding up?
You can't
The
get
wind shifted, so I'm assuming you're holding up 7.
this man's a magician.
You gotta go. It's 3 o'clock. And I'm late for my appointment.
Yeah, but
Wait,
jumping
you see the clock?
well, jumping into Hawkeye episode 5, I don't know if you guys have watched it yet, but
Yeah.
we see Kingpin is showing up. Like, clearly that is the boss of Maya Lopez and the whole tracksuit, Dracula's blood.
So I feel the worst name in the person.
But yeah, so I was just waiting to see if he would show up in this. I feel like, even though it was brief, I feel like he might show up more in Hawkeye, this last episode that comes out.
I don't think he is.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
I think he'll make one cameo and that'll be like the end credits scene.
I think I'm gonna say next thing we see him in is Secret Invasion. He's in Secret Invasion.
Oh!
If you look at the cast list, like he's in it.
Oh, well, bet. It's about to be lit.
Wait, when does that come out?
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's like
Talking
huge.
about the scrolls?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
don't Loki drop this year too?
Loki does drop next year.
Season
with,
2 or?
Yep,
Season
season
two.
2 with
I thought that was
Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Yep.
man. Why do I care more about that than all of them?
Cause Loki was
It
fire.
was fire, bro. Out of all the Marvel shows, I think that's the one I like.
Because I'm really just waiting for them to put Kang in the movies now.
Kang. So Zendaya reprised her role as Michelle MJ Jones Watson. They finally add the Watson onto the end of her name because everybody was like, oh, Michelle Jones.
Hey, that was kind of weird when he was like, when they was in the school, and then he was like, or what he said something about like, yeah, I felt, or me and MJ are still love or something like that. And like, what's name looked at him, he's like, not that MJ.
No, different. My
MJ. He looked at her like, okay, I'm about, cause she in high school, you kind of old, my boy.
Technically, she's like 25 due to the lit, but
I think there was an MJ in the Andrew Garfield one.
Yeah.
Was there really?
Yeah. So you meet. It's in a deleted scene.
Okay, that's why.
What?
Yeah. So you get the Blu-ray. You watch all the deleted scenes.
Like after
Well, no. Yeah, but like if you got the Blu-ray, the one of the deleted scenes was the one with his dad when his dad showed up. The second one was after Gwen Stacy dies. He was moping and she had just moved next door.
Okay.
So when that happened,
they definitely got
because in the comics he met Gwen before he met MJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after Gwen, then MJ made her grand entrance. So when they did that with Amazing Spider-Man, even though again on my tier list of Spider-Man's probably bottom, I just didn't like Amazing Spider-Man, right? When they introduced MJ, I was like, okay, so there's room for this to go somewhere. All right, cool, but then it didn't happen. So it was like,
because that was that. It was like, we'll just scrap that, try again. So Jacob Batalon reprised his role as Ned. I liked when he was like, so did you have a best friend? Yeah, but he died. He died in my arms after he tried to kill me.
Most heartbreaking thing.
He like walked away too.
But that is Easter egg too in the comics. Ned is actually a friend to Miles Morales in the comic books, and he later becomes Hobgoblin.
I really hope that's foreshadowing of him turning into Hobgoblin.
That because you saw at the end, like he's an entirely different Ned, honestly.
Yeah, either Hobgoblin or Demo Goblin because of the magic.
Yeah. Oh.
Because I was like, I really feel like we're about to get Demo Goblin.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a very obscure character. And I mean, and at this point, they are really pulling like random characters. Like when I saw,
but they're good at that.
Yeah, when I saw America
Chavez.
Yeah, Chavez show up and we'll talk about it. But I was like, oh wow, she actually looks kind of cool on screen.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, obviously he has some type of proclivity to the magic and
like he
sorcery.
was able to do this. It took Doctor Strange forever to be able to make that.
Yeah.
And then he did it like.
Even though I felt like that was a MacGuffin. Like when I was like, all right, really? Like how do I know to stop at the second Spider-Man? Like, where's Peter Parker? Oh, Andrew Garfield. All right, let's try again. Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire. Y'all just like, all right, let's just stop at these two. Y'all didn't just be like, Peter Parker.
Yeah. Like,
And more other Peter Parkers come in like, no.
he come animated Miles Morales.
Right.
It's not the time. But I did think that was cool. I did like. I feel like him doing that very easily. It was like, okay,
definitely contrived, but it's fine. We needed to move the script somehow. The plot needed to move along, and that's just how they chose to do it. I feel like they should have done it in a way where Tom Holland Spider-Man is fighting with what's caused, and he's like, "Oh, I'm getting overpowered," and all of a sudden, here comes Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and they say that a hero can save you.
I would have stood up and had my ladder. on something like, yeah, baby.
And then the other Andrew Garfield Spider-Man jump in.
That was too much like Endgame though.
I mean, yeah, but the way they did it was in game. Oh, a portal and hey, I'm to your left. Right, like it was a portal that he comes through, and I was like, all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was the first person that started clapping, and everybody else started clapping, which was wild.
Huh? Take that credit.
We both started clapping. We all started. Let's go with that. We all started clapping, but I was like,
deep down, I was really hoping that nobody else clapped but him, so he just had one awkward guy.
I would have been that guy.
Sit down.
I was that person in my theater though.
Clap.
Not the clap, but when Charlie Cox showed up.
Oh, we did that part too. Yes.
I was like, yo, and I was like, oh shoot, my bad.
I'm glad that we had the theater that we had. It was a bunch of people that were still kind of like, but people still clapped and did all that stuff. But it was one group of people that had their baby. I was like, get that child out of here, okay? I will throw your child down the stairs. Get out.
Whoa.
It was that deep, bro. Like, you know, that was a moment that you don't
talking. I was like, I will throw that baby off a balcony. Shut it up.
Oh, your baby.
I feel like with that, because we all figured that they were gonna be there, it still felt good to see. Versus when I watched Endgame in the movie theater, and when he did Cap on your left and everybody walked in, the whole theater was like,
Yes! Especially when Black Panther comes through first, I was like,
yes.
That was nothing compared to when he picked up that hammer. That was,
oh yeah, everybody.
when he picked up that hammer, like it was just everybody was on 30 at that point.
No, that was that.
They were hitting it back to
on
back
a movie,
on that whole scene, that whole like ending scene with the.
Yeah, so like that on a movie going experience, nothing for me yet beats the Endgame. Because
this was honestly close.
Yeah.
I guess because of the theater I went to when I saw Endgame, the whole interaction with the crowd and everybody was like super hyped.
Yeah.
I mean, when we went, it was cool because we got the woo. And we got the so yeah, I would feel like crowd participation wise, for me, because of I guess the crowd that was with me, I like my Endgame reaction because I feel like all nerds united and we were all like, yeah, there. Then this one was like, yeah, Toby, Andrew. Yeah. Like, first of all, y'all don't deserve to be here. You don't even remember Toby Maguire. When were we born? Like 07? Get out.
None of those kids probably knew Tobey Maguire at that corner.
Exactly. No, people did. This was a movie for millennials. Honestly,
I think there was a lady that even said, "Why was everybody getting so?"
Oh yeah, the lady at the end was like, "Why are people getting so hyped? Get out! Get out! You out
now!"
Like y'all just doing too much.
Get her up! Get her up! Get her up! Let her get up! Let her up! Let her up! Fight back, nigga! Fight back! But
That was disrespectful.
So Marissa Tomei reprised her role as Aunt May. Unfortunately and sadly, she dies. But it is too gross. Spider-Man as a character, and
man, I told you, like they really confused me because like yes, when that glider came in, I'm like, ooh, she did. And then I saw her back up. I'm like, how's she back up?
Yo, that acting in that scene was
Marissa Tomei is the GOAT.
Bro,
Like she is the GOAT. Her and Willem Dafoe put that movie on their back. It was like we got this.
Put him on their back like how you did Spider-Man. Like all right, just. But yeah, that scene was like, I just gotta catch my breath. All right, then catch your breath. Come on, let's go. Come on, catch your breath. He's like, I'm just sit down for a minute.
No,
second I saw it, I was like, oh.
Yeah. No. I saw it when she started stuttering. I'm like, wait a minute, something is wrong.
She was like hyper or hyperventilating or I don't know what it was.
She was going into shock.
You just gotta. It's like,
I didn't believe they was gonna do it at first.
Neither did I.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I was like, oh wow, we're doing this.
But I kind of figured that because there's no way you're gonna get hit with a glider at that speed and not have no kind of repercussions at what happens to your body.
Just like how you get shot with a bullet and then there's no blood in that scene.
Well, he's a superhero.
Did he have the nano suit on though?
He did have the nano suit.
Did
Well, no, he didn't have the.
No.
He had the red and black suit, but it was augmented with the nanite.
Yeah,
Good looking too, by the way. That gold on it was beautiful.
That was nice.
So like, I guess this sounds bad. I think when I saw the glider, I knew that when he was like, now you're gonna see, like, you're not gonna feel or suffer whatever because he did, and he shot it. I honestly thought he was gonna like impale her into the wall, but she ended up just flipping. I'm like, oh boy, impale. I'm like, oh.
Why?
I'm gonna be honest. I would have kind of wanted that too.
I would kind of want to, because just like think about it, it's like the reflecting back to when he actually lost his life with his glider, and it's kind of
like, oh.
If she'd have got pinned to that wall, I probably would have cried.
I was
crying.
I probably would have cried. I was like, no, not her. Anybody but her.
I ain't gonna lie. I laughed.
No, John is awful, man.
I laughed too. When she got hit with the glider, dog, she literally went flying, dog. She went, and then she got right back up. So I'm just like, okay, she a G out here. She ain't faced by nothing, bro. She out here with the set. She like, what's up, cut? I'm out here getting these. And then she was like, okay, let me just.
She's like, hold on, let me just take a seat.
That adrenaline really kicked in. She had enough time to get the thing like,
Gave him a whole with great power comes great responsibility speech, and then was like, hold on, I need to take a seat.
She's like the original, because with great power comes great responsibility. That's not the actual one. What she said with great power,
Great power.
Alone. With great power, there comes great responsibility. Like that's what I noticed. I looked it up. I was like, why is it different? But that's
how it is in the original
The
comics.
original comics, yeah.
When Uncle Ben tells us, like, with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
And then everybody just shortened it.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody's like,
that's too many words.
Yeah, put it in. And then she started bleeding out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He was
Like, man, that's like, man, what are you doing? Wake up. Wait, man, would you look at me and talk to me, please? I was
like you are in such shocking denial, bro. Like,
of course.
I know that was the saddest part about it.
Tom Holland and Marissa Tomei acted the H out of that scene.
Yes.
Like, I was like, yo, I gotta give this Tom
That's the
Holland.
thing. Marissa Tomei she a G.
15, that was 5.
15. The mascara's coming off.
Shut up! I love to break the glasses and see.
That's great. Get out of here. So moving on with our characters, the villains that return. Well, are they really villains? From a certain point.
Yes.
So Willem Dafoe reprised his role as Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. Honestly, I feel like they don't skip a beat with him. Like, it literally is like he jumped off set from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and jumped on this like, all right, let's do this.
Blues could do.
Exactly. I was like, the CGI number one on him, you couldn't even tell like he's old. Yeah. Like, it was some parts like, all right, he's a little old here, but other parts it's like.
Man, same thing in Aquaman. Like, dude had a whole 6-pack and was like doing stuff in Aquaman. I was like, ain't this man like 70?
Right.
All right.
I mean, man,
you goals, bro.
Right. But this man honestly carried this entire movie. Like, from the time that he gets on scene to the time where he gets sent back home, I guess.
When I saw that first Norman to like Green Goblin, like when you first saw him, he was Norman, but when he did that switch, I was like, yo,
yeah,
he did not
trust me.
Yup, he ain't losing, bro.
No,
he didn't lose it.
Let's talk about that Spider-Man, the Spider Sense. What's called when he's like, yeah, I'm cool.
I think this is the best depiction of the Spidey sense.
Yeah.
Because I hate the toes. I hope that next movie they get rid of that tingle crap because it gives me DBS vibes, and I'm like, I can't.
You talking the tingle like the
turn the Super Saiyan tingle?
Yeah, tingle in the back.
Yeah, I want to say if one person, if one more character I love say tingle, they get a tingle before they transform. Bro, I'm gonna fight somebody.
That is such a terrible word for the sense. Oh, it's tingling.
You see a position.
In the first Spider-Man, it kind of went in depth with like, cause like when you saw the Spidey sense first happen in school, like you saw like his hairs like kind of like stick up, and like he kind of like was like had a higher awareness than usual, and then like it kind of like put that in like CGI or it was CGI, like it was computer graphics. Yeah. And then I mean I feel like that one was a good like descriptive of the Spidey sense, but this one like it really showed like him like getting like lost in the Spidey sense because he doesn't know where this is actually coming from.
Yeah, like he knows
it's a threat, but he doesn't know exactly where it's coming from. And that's why it kind of shows him.
But then he did because he webs.
He figured.
I think
I think he
was figuring it out, huh?
I think he was feeling for like that sudden movement. Like everybody like looking around like, you okay, you good? And he's like feeling for it, and then once I guess when Norman like maybe itched something that gave off a thing, it's like and Carlin like, oh, so you figured it out with me? Oh.
I mean, I've just been telegraphing it for the whole movie, but
didn't Dr. Octavius say something to him before that happened? Like he was
like, aren't you
like, we're about to be cured or something like that? And then he was like, he didn't face him, but
that's when Green
I think that was Green Goblin. That's when Green Goblin was in.
Yeah, because at first it was Norman. Norman like, man, this is fascinating. Norman like, yeah, we're gonna cure you. Like, cure, right?
These aren't a curse; they're a gift. I'm like, all right.
And Electro was like, I like to cut up this man's jib. Like what I'm hearing.
This man is woke.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
We don't want to get rid of. We're guys. We take that. Electric. Give me the.
I know. As soon as that, he's like, we take. He was like, yeah,
you're right. Sure. I'm gonna take this though.
Why did he have an arc reactor in his house?
Because I think it powered the Stark box.
Yeah.
It was actually Iron Man. He was trying to become the new Iron Man. Tony Stark dying. He went in.
Why is that so big?
Fat was out. Hey, Happy, get out!
enough nanotech for Tony and Peter. You know.
Just
It's too much. It's a crop top suit.
But Alfred Molina reprises his role as Doc Ock. Jamie Foxx shows back up as Max Dillon, Electro. Thomas Hayden Church shows back up as Sandman, Frank Marco, and I don't know how to say this man's name, but the guy that played Lizard and Kirk Connors. I think it's Rice Ifans. I think that's his name.
Sure.
Rice Eiffel Tower.
Yep, that's his name. But yeah, I feel like they did a really great role with their acting. Jamie Foxx,
was gonna.
he was good, but
He was good. He might have actually been kind of my favorite. Like
Really?
outside of outside of Willem. I mean, nobody can touch Willem. That's like
or Alfred Molina, like he jumps back into character too. Like
he does, but you don't see him as much.
that is
True.
You
after he get his that's I'm not that right.
Yeah.
After he got his tentacles fixed.
I will say I do like the fact that they added in the movie that his tentacles could grab the nanites and they
Yes.
instantly upgraded.
Because his tentacles are nanotechnology too, right?
They run on a neurotransmitter and they're run by neuron, like
They're
brain
Neuralink.
neuron.
Yeah.
Neuralink. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
the
No, I
so-
don't think
because
they were.
it's made of Oscorp designer.
Well, were they?
I don't think it's necessarily made of,
It's
Nanotech.
Nanotech though.
but I do believe it is a type of Neuralink system, the same as with
Yeah.
nanotech.
Yeah.
So that's why he was able to just like, oh, this is cool. But that scene when Spider-Man takes over, it's like,
see here.
this is adorable.
He was like, yeah, as long as I have access to this, you not moving. Like you can't. Yeah, you got some good arms, but I know how to control nanotech. So
Did anybody else think when they kept showing suit offline is like, oh man, he's about to
bust out.
Yeah, I was like,
I
they keep
think
showing this.
I think that was a red herring to hide
Yeah.
Green Goblin.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Which I can. They was smart for that because I was like, yeah, he about to either the
I
nanotech
wouldn't even
about
trust
to
me.
fall,
I mean,
either the
Tom
arm about
Holland
to
didn't know
fall.
what he was getting himself into, but
Yeah.
like Toby was there, he'd be like, hey, no. We ain't playing with this one.
Nah, this nigga's evil.
Yeah.
This man is telegraphing it too. Like man has the devious smile. You ain't noticed this?
And Toby got there before everybody started going crazy, and he's like, yep. And then we got Norman over here. You guys know each other, right? Toby's just like, yo! You don't want to know what happens.
No, I ain't taking a chance.
We'll make sure we keep this where it's at. We don't know what might happen. Although he actually did get fixed, so I wonder what happened with them afterwards. Like
I feel like it starts branch timelines.
Right.
Because
they're not equal.
they're not.
Because
Yeah,
the
they're not
Tobey
equal.
Maguire that was there right now, he's in a timeline where he's dead. So like
Yeah.
when he goes back, does that timeline get rearranged? And like is
Yeah, it's a
Wait.
branch timeline.
At what point do they go back though? Because
When
Electro had said like when he got teleported, he was about to fall into what's called and die.
He was absorbing. He was absorbing.
He's about to become pure energy and
who was?
Electro. But I
Yeah,
think
like
it
he was
branches
red.
because he still has that technology on.
Yeah.
So,
It just keeps him nullified, I guess. I don't know.
I thought they dissipated all the.
Yeah. It's like you still have like the electricity for your brain and your heart and whatnot, but
Yeah, but-
that seems funny. It's like, are you explaining to a guy that controls electricity how electricity works? It's like,
Yo, what if they put that thing in him and it literally took all the electricity out of him when they killed him? Like his brain and his heart.
but that's what he was
That's why
nervous
he was
about
like,
when he
I
attached it to him. He was like, whoa.
like what is this? Hey.
He's like, well, I feel like
Why do I feel weak?
You still have the minimum required, like the minimum
Right.
required so you can live. But that extra,
Yeah, that's
you want to be cured, right? I want to be cured. I was a loser before this.
Well, now you look like Jamie Foxx. You can go back and get anybody. Like, come on now, man.
Did y'all like him hitting that Miles?
Oh yeah.
I literally made a joke about that.
Like, when he's talking,
Oh yeah, but he saw us
Yeah,
and
he
like,
was
he
like,
like,
I thought you was black.
he was like, oh man, I'm sorry.
Like, I know there's got to be a black Spider-Man somewhere. Look at the camera.
I'm sure there's a black Spider-Man out there somewhere.
Maybe
Right.
It's like,
I really
come
liked
on,
the
man.
part when they highlighted the electric mask around the original comic of the electric
Yeah,
mask.
I thought that was
The
cool.
star.
Yeah, the star. I
Yeah.
think that was cool. Shut up, Marcus. I thought that was cool when they popped that up. I wish it would have been more like permanent and like not just popped up every time he uses his powers, but
I don't know if I wanted to see him with the little.
not like with the mask, but like with the
Jamie Foxx in
electric,
the original
like electric current going like that. Not like a
Oh, like-
actual mask.
But I think it was cool when he whenever he uses electricity, yeah, it would have been cool to have that there, but him having the man like,
Especially Jamie Foxx's face. I was like,
Jamie Foxx serious if he was in the original Electra outfit. That
green with the little.
He had a green leotard with this yellow one.
it's like, what happened to you, man?
When I first saw Jamie Foxx, the Jamie Foxx theme show song.
here I go, here I go, here I go.
Oh, that was stupid.
Any other thoughts on the characters for this movie?
I liked how they made Green Goblin look more like the Hobgoblin with the hood.
Yeah.
Oh,
When he destroyed his mask and he didn't have his mask anymore, but like at the end, like you saw he had that like little hood that he had over
He
his
could
head.
have destroyed that mask pretty easily. All it took was
He's
one
got
blow
super
to just-
strength.
Get out of my head. No.
I thought they was gonna actually have him look like Ultimate Green Goblin.
Yeah, like on fire and everything. Well, not
the
fire,
creature.
but yeah.
The creature. I thought that's what they was gonna do. I was like, oh.
Wait, you mean
yeah.
the one that killed Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's what they were gonna do. I was like, because everybody basically got a change with the exception of Sandman and Lizard.
Yeah.
So I thought he was gonna get a change too. I was like, oh.
But he
that'd
looked
be
more
sick.
comic accurate with the green and the purple hoodie
Yeah,
on.
I didn't like that.
Cool. Yeah.
Wait, did they fix Mark? I mean, Frank.
Yeah, he lost
Yeah,
all his job.
yeah, because I saw when he came back human, his head was still like.
He's going back to pay child support.
Exactly.
In his
I
universe.
need my Sandman back. Go back in that Super Collider.
Oh! He
Was
like,
he still wanted back in like the timeline too?
Yes.
Yes.
So like he's gonna have.
So he still has
he's about to get locked up. He
He
had
got the
no
power
way
to
to
escape
escape
no more.
he didn't want to get cured. He's like, man, I just want to go home. We can cure you. Listen, I just want to go home. I can live with this.
I like the little hint with when him and Electro talk just like, how'd you get your powers? I fell into a vat of electric eels. You? I fell into a collider. It's like, gotta be careful where you fall, man.
I thought that was kind of funny too. I was like, oh dang, yeah.
So moving on to the end of the movie, where this leaves Spider-Man. He of course finally does the original spell where everybody forgets Peter Parker. To keep
Well, the original spell was everybody forget Spider-Man.
Yeah, that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But now it's like everybody's gonna forget Peter Parker entirely. Which why not just do everybody just forgets Peter Parker is Spider-Man? Like everybody can know it's Spider-Man, it's not know it's Peter Parker. I feel like that would have been better, but whatever. And so now Spider-Man is
Yeah, that's very true.
at his
You mean like
way we all know.
You said you mean like why didn't he say everybody forget Spider-Man? You saying?
No, not forget Spider-Man, but just
Forget
forget
that
Peter
he's
Parker is Spider-Man. Because that's essentially all that it would have done the same thing.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, can you make sure everybody forget who I
Because
am?"
I thought he said something like that to Dr. Strange. He said something like that wouldn't work, and then he said like, all right, well, what about Peter Parker like all together?
Oh, like everybody would have to forget. Oh yeah.
And then he was like, that would work, but like you know what you're doing, right?
Like,
yeah, I
that
know what I'm
means
doing. Like
nobody would know you.
Yeah.
Like,
And honestly, I feel like that's how it should be. Like this, like I said, it's a soft reboot, and it takes Spider-Man to being broke, having to make his own suit, because we see that at the end of the movie, this is, like we said, the most comic accurate spider suit. Like he takes pieces from Andrew Garfield, the sleekness, but he also takes the design from Tobey Maguire with the pronounced webbing. And honestly, I like it this way. This is the Spider-Man that I personally wanted, and this is the problem that I had with Spider-Man just in general, because it was like, oh, he's bankrolled by Tony Stark the billionaire, so he gets all the tech that he wants, he gets all these things, but now it's like nobody knows who Peter Parker is, so you not about to have access to a Tony Stark suit. Like you got to make your own suit now, nigga. Like
yeah, that's true.
So for me, I personally like that. I didn't like the fact that now everybody forgets him, especially during that scene where he goes to the donut shop and he's like, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker." And first of all, before I get to that, did anybody else think that Ned and MJ were gonna kiss?
Yes.
I thought they were too.
I thought for
I would have been like, no.
I was like, yo.
Me too.
I'm like, what timeline is this? He just said after today. They did not change. It just.
She literally was like, I love you.
Right. Hey, Ned.
I was gonna be like, oh wow.
Like,
That would have hurt my soul.
I don't know how did this work. What did you do? What spell was this? They said they'd forget about you the next day because soon the next day happened. Everything that happened the day before was still accurate. James was like, yeah, Spider-Man, whoever you are, blah blah blah. Like everything that happened the day before. It still happened.
Yeah.
But when you get to this scene, it feels like they just rewrote their whole memory. Like, in general, like.
My question is, does it change like media things? Because there's pictures of Peter Parker.
Yeah,
like,
it changes. That's why, like, when you saw one of the newspapers, it just said menace.
Okay.
It said question mark because
It went back to the time where nobody knew that.
Right.
Spider-Man was, or now that nobody knows Peter Parker, they can't compare or they can't put Peter Parker with Spider-Man. So now they
and I guess
Spider-Man.
that retroactively deletes the whole Mysterio thing because Mysterio's like, the person who killed me is Peter Parker, or Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Well,
Exactly.
all that just got deleted.
The person who killed me is redacted.
So,
how does that work with memories? Because like, does Doctor Strange just like when they were on the Ebony Maw's ship?
Mm-hmm.
So like when Peter Quill has him at gunpoint, how does that work now?
they just remember being with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like he just has a mask the whole time.
Yeah, it's a blank. It's blank. Like they don't
There's a
remember.
white face.
Yeah, they're like,
eyes,
it seems familiar, but I'm not quite sure, what that is.
Yeah.
That's right.
It does suck. But
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like if I was put in that situation, that would be hard.
What I am curious about is if the timing of the ripple of all of the spider people coming through times with the ripple that happened in Loki, which times with the ripple that happened in
WandaVision. I don't feel like it could.
Because the WandaVision and Loki thing happened at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, does this also happen at the same time? Because Doctor Strange doesn't know that the multiverse that we've already been, that the MCU basically is in the multiverse has been open.
Yeah.
And he thinking, oh yeah, this is just the one instance the multiverse is open. Close, everything is fine now.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
No, it's not. Like we see, well, let's jump into it now. Anybody got any more thoughts on the just ending of the movie? We can finish that up in the end.
Oh no, I was just...
Why did He Who Remains not know what was going to happen after a certain point? Was that because of Wanda?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what happened was with Wanda being the Scarlet Witch being a Nexus being, she's at the focal point of everything. So once she transformed and she became the actual Scarlet Witch, that was not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, that's why He Who Remains, aka Immortus, was like, oh shoot, that I don't know what's gonna happen now.
Yeah. We have crossed threshold.
Yeah. But I like the ending. I think, well, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think the ending coincides with what happens at the end of, what's going to happen at the end of Hawkeye? Because it's Christmas. And when Spider-Man was flying over, he was flying over Rockefeller Center and they were ice skating and it was Christmas.
Mm-hmm. I think
so, because like I said before, that the Rogers film, the musical, was a billboard on there when he was swinging in the beginning, which it wasn't snowing then, but like they're probably like, if you think about it, it's probably gonna be filming throughout the whole year. So then, like the end, when they were ice skating, is probably leading up to that point where we are in Hawkeye, where it is Christmas and it's snowing right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking about them, like, I wonder, does that take place after all that situation gets fixed, or before? And Hawkeye and both Hawkeyes haven't got there yet.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, you could kind of help us out here, Spidey. Like
exactly.
If you're in the city, like
hey, yo, my boy, you in town?
You hear all this gunfire, you just not gonna do nothing?
Well, she needs my help.
We're down here with whole arrows, and you are web swinging and just swinging around in the buildings. It's like, what's that gunfire? Oh, sure, it's fine.
Hawkeye, he's got that handle. He's got a bow and arrow. That makes sense.
He's the top Avenger.
Hawkeye.
There's a woman down there with them shooting arrows. I wonder what that's about. Whip.
I'm sure he's got it.
So, jumping to this post-credit scene. The first post-credit scene.
Which one?
The mid-credit scene, let's say that. We see Eddie Brock and Venom are in a bar talking to the bartender, right? Yeah. Pretty much catching up on everything that the Infinity Saga said. So you're saying that a purple alien came and snapped away half of existence? Yes. You're saying there's a man in a tin can that flies around. Mm-hmm.
Senor, I lost half my family.
Right. And then he ends up going back to his own timeline, right? What we notice after is a small black dot on the bar, what's called, because obviously Venom tips well. And shortly we see it inch just a little bit, the black goo inches, and then it cuts to the credits.
Yes.
So we now canonly have the symbiote in the Tom Holland MCU. Yeah.
Yes.
So wait, can the symbiote cross water?
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah, he can
Can
cross
it
water.
float? Or is it going to sink
I
to
mean,
the bottom?
they did
It's
it
got
in
to
Venom
go across the bottom.
when they fell in the water.
It can also attach to animals too. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it probably just attached to a pigeon and
That's definitely on the island. That's going to take a long time to get to Spider-Man. It's been like 4 years later. Do you know how long it took me to get to you? Come here.
But my initial thoughts were like, first of all, why is Venom even in this movie? Like, because the spell is everybody that knows who Peter Parker is, right? So I'm like, what is Venom doing here? Like, they don't know, but the hive mind, exactly. He's like the hive mind that spans over 8 billion years or 8 billion light years and universes would crush your mind if we tried to give you all that information. So in another universe, the symbiote knows who Spider-Man is.
Which says to me that I'm wondering if we're gonna get a redo of Carnage. Because
Man.
the reason why I say that, because he said that basically they established that the symbiotes are multiversal beings.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're multiversal beings, that means there are Clintars in the MCU.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which means there should probably be another set of Riot, Scream, Agony,
Yep.
all in the MCU. I'm just like, which for me it's just like that's where I kind of have a problem, because it's just like, okay, well, you doing all which, to answer your question, I think it was lazily done to add Venom. I was like, this is so lazy. You could have just easily said, hey, listen, when y'all were fighting in space, something came back. You know when Thanos just dropped his ship on the Avengers compound? Yeah, he had something locked away. It was some black goop. He didn't know what it was. He was just like, oh, that black goop right there, lock it up. Because, you know, hat killing and genocide is his game. So he just decided to lock the black goop up. But just to be like, oh yeah, Venom took a little poop, and now the poop is alive.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of pointless for them to like do that. Like in Venom 2, to have that post scene to get like this build up, or like, oh, we're about to have this Venom in like the Spider universe, and then it's like psych, we're bringing them back, but then to be like lazy like that with writing and be like, oh, well, this is how we can use this to get the symbiote into the MCU universe. You know,
literally that's all he was.
That could have easily been written like that.
Yeah.
He was all Venom was a plot device.
A doorway into whatever they were about to do. That's what I was about to say for Mark said. I'm like, that was pointless. So the Carnage 2 thing, him getting blipped into our universe to not be seen until the end of the movie, just to get blipped back to where he was at. And a piece of the symbiote dropped. And it's like, well, I forgot something I read about.
It makes that movie suck even worse.
Yeah, because it's just like, that's so contrived.
Much worse. So like, I don't know. Like, I guess with the whole symbiote hive mind thing, and a lot of people tied it into the Spider-Man 3 Venom, because again, it's still a symbiote. It is in Tobey Maguire's universe, and it connected it because if there was an MCU Venom, the fact that Venom was able to know Spider-Man was, they know space. They knew Spider-Man. So that made it connect to the fact that, okay, that Venom knows Spider-Man space because of the symbiote from Spider-Man 3, because he knows who Venom was. That Venom knew Spider-Man. So like, oh, the hive mind. Oh,
why do I smell iron?
Oh, yeah.
Starting to bleed out of my nose because of you.
Because it was the connection. I'm like, okay, so that's what I mean when I get the connection. Because Venom would have not known who Spider-Man was, because there is no Spider-Man in the Venom universe.
Yeah.
But when Venom saw him on the TV and said, "Oh, lit TV," it's like, I'm like, how did he know that? I'm like, oh, right, because Venom at some point was in the Spider-Verse, but it was in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Verse, and because the whole hive mind thing exists, that symbiote would have known it by connecting it to this symbiote, and now it's like, oh, that guy's great.
Connected through different universe.
They established Venom as a multiverse being, so
and that's what happening in the current run of Venom, where Venom is able to, for the most part, time travel. Like
yes, I was like, come on, bro.
Eddie Brock can throw his consciousness to a symbiote in the future and
talk through it, and then see whole chain of events happen.
Yo.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Why?
They got something special.
I'm
And
like,
apparently they don't exist within the timeline because you didn't get blipped out, but he did. Okay.
Right. And my thing is, even though it's lazy writing, it would make sense if they are gonna do the symbiote. It would make sense to do it right after this movie now, like
right.
because, like I said earlier, he's in a dark place now. Like even though Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were like, hey, don't let it consume you, and you gotta do better, and they gave him great big brother advice. Still, he's alone. He doesn't have Mary Jane. I mean, maybe that door might be open at some point. He ain't got his best friend. His aunt is dead. His uncle's dead. He doesn't have Happy. Iron Man is dead. No one knows who he is. He didn't get into MIT and obviously has to take a GED test because there's no records of him anymore.
He have a social security card.
Like,
he got a social number. How you going?
That's true. Nobody knows.
So this nigga is probably at the lowest that he can be at. And he's like, hey, either A, they can bring in, he gets the black suit, or they bring in Black Cat.
I think we're gonna get both.
I would go see it.
I think we'll go get both. Solely because of the fact that Felicia Hardy was introduced in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
They did not do anything with her.
Nothing.
But in this one, because this is at his lowest point, I think we're going to see Black Cat. But again, I think it's going to be Mr. Negative and Kingpin he's going to have to deal with. And it may all stem from the fact that Black Cat stole something from Kingpin.
I like that plot.
I forgot to tell y'all. My friend DC Black here is a writer, so y'all know. So he can plug his stuff, at the end of the podcast. But he's also a writer, so that his mind goes straight to that. Just
Hey, yo, Marvel, get up in here.
I was like, that would be fire because it would make perfect sense. And like I said, it goes back to a lot of stuff they've done in the video games. So that's similar to what happened in the Black Cat DLC.
Yeah.
Like, she stole something, looked at this dude, Peter was like, oh, hey, Peter, ain't seen you in a while. I got a baby.
Hey.
And it was just like, and he was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The last person you slept with was, oh my God.
Oh, MJ's gonna be mad.
And Andrew's like, oh, hey, so what are we mad about? I mean, Black Cat's back. Is she?
Is she?
Anything you want to tell me?
Right. Baby, you know me. I don't cheat.
What's funny though is when he actually told her, was like, hey, so Black Cat has a son. Like, oh wow, really? Yeah.
I was the last person she was with.
She literally was like, it just hung up on, was like, click. It was like, hello? Mary Jane? Hello? MJ?
Don't change the locks for me, please. I don't got nowhere to stay.
Just for this girl, Felicia, to be like, hey, yo, so remember I told you I had a son? Psych!
There's only one person in the entire world now that knows who Peter is. That's Venom.
Yeah.
So that's going to be his only friend.
Yeah, and that would make sense. Why?
We tried.
I don't think so. I think it's two. I think it's Venom and Scarlet Witch because she's a Nexus being.
Oh yeah.
She would have to have known, even though, and also I'm curious how that spell would have affected her because even though she's a Nexus being, she still knows that Peter Parker exists in another universe.
Does she know Peter Parker though?
Yeah, they literally fought.
She was. Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Duh.
So that's what I think. I would be very curious to see how that spell worked on her, or if it affected her at all.
Yeah.
Because of the fact she's so special.
I mean, they have definitely set up something great. I feel like they have made a way out for them, even though Amy Pascal has said like, yo, we getting 3 more Spider-Man movies and Marvel's gonna be involved with it. They've given themselves a way out because nobody knows who Peter Parker is anymore. So all they know is Spider-Man. So they can be like, oh yeah, Spider-Man, thanks for helping us. But if they don't want to do Spider-Man with them no more, nobody knows Spider-Man. Nobody knows Peter Parker. So
Andrew, get back in here.
That's why I think Andrew's gonna be the Spider-Man for Sony and Tom Holland's the Spider-Man for the MCU.
I hope they do that.
Because it just makes sense. Because like Venom needs a Spider-Man.
Yes.
Especially when you set up the police officer that was in Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Oh yeah.
That's Toxin.
That's Toxin. Yeah.
Yeah. So you basically set up Toxin. So I'm like, I feel like you're gonna just go ahead and you need a Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider-Man. Doesn't Toxic go under Spider-Man's wing and start like learning
Yep.
with him?
Mhm.
That's why Carnage and Venom got mad, so they tried to kill them both.
Yep.
I say, but at this point, you run out of stuff for Venom to do. You went up against the big leader dude in the beginning of the first one. You went against Carnage in the second one.
I mean, with them introducing Gore the God Butcher in Thor
Love and Thunder.
I mean,
We're about to get no. Like 100%.
yeah,
we're about
we
to
for
get
sure
no.
might get
That's
no.
Christian Bale's playing that part, right?
Chris, yeah, is
Yep.
playing Gore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh,
I think he's playing Ronan. Not Ronan. Ronan?
Who?
The Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian.
Conan?
Crush.
Conan the Barbarian. Hey, welcome to Sunday Night Live. We got a live show for you.
Beta Ray Bill?
No, it's Ronan the Barbarian. Is that his name?
No,
I
it's
think.
Conan the Barbarian.
It's
Conan the Barbarian.
No, but I refuse to believe
It is
No, it's Conan the
No,
Barbarian.
it's-
That's why
With the K though, I think. Right?
No, yes.
Yeah.
It's Conan the Barbarian.
It is.
Yeah.
Hold on, I refuse.
Josh going
I'm not.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
it's
gonna
K. I think it's with a
sound
K.
like this.
Yes, it's literally Conan the Barbarian.
No, it's
No,
with
the
a C.
one from Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, that's Ronan the
You're talking about Ronan the
Accuser.
Accuser.
Ronan the Accuser?
He's dead. I'm not.
What is wrong with me?
Yeah, Ronan is.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's
He
super dead.
is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's super dead.
Space
Power Stone.
Power Stone, yeah.
Yeah, Power Stone blew him up, and he just
Yeah.
Big stuff.
Well, wrapping up, well, we got the post-credit scene, which...
You mean trailer?
Exactly. The the Sizzler, for the most part, like, that... I didn't like it. I ain't gonna hold you up. I was just like, this... It was badly cut, edits. I just didn't like it. Like, I'm interested in the premise, because I want to see, Baron Mordo with his,
Dread.
unit. Like, the, dreads from the Tyler Perry movie, but...
I mean,
It was a teaser trailer, which
Yeah.
I respect.
I want to keep it that way, please. I don't need no more trailers.
Yes, that's the one movie.
No more trailers.
Yeah, that's
After what they just gave us right now, it's already kind of too much.
Yeah.
Cause like I get it, like yeah, like it was good, like it gives attention to your movie, but like when they brought that evil Doctor Strange up in the mix, like we talked about it and we thought that this was gonna be like this movie, like not the Doctor Strange but Spider-Man.
Oh,
we
yeah.
thought originally like we had a
That was the dark.
yeah, we thought that was gonna be like a little dark Doctor Strange, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But with this new one coming out, I'm glad to see like that path still being taken up because what we saw in What If that was like crazy.
that was
So-
I still haven't finished What If, but
Did you see the third episode?
yeah, that was probably my favorite one.
Mhm.
I didn't finish it because it was hard for me to get into What If. Like
Thank you.
it was so hard. I'm sitting here, I'm like, why should I care about this?
Right.
Besides T'Challa, that was T'Challa's last role, which, mad respect to him, Why should I care about this? I don't care. Okay? I was like, I don't care.
I stopped
Then-
watching after, what was it, the Avengers one where they all started getting killed?
Getting assassinated.
I saw this.
Was it Hank or?
It was Hank Pym.
Yeah, which I'm just like, oh my gosh, Hank Pym being crazy again. Oh my gosh.
I mean, but it lines up with the comics. 'Cause,
It does.
He goes nuts.
Yes, but I'm just like, man.
Hawkeye is still young, but
Yeah.
I can't get past I can't get past the fact that Hope dies. I'm just Hope can't die.
Garbage episode.
Like,
But if there's a gland in his head that if you destroy it,
he's been
it
incinerated
stops
before.
him from.
I thought he's had his head blown. Wait.
Yes, he's been incinerated. He's been
His head
been
blown off,
destroyed
yeah, then it
multiple
came
times.
Oh.
His body just.
Who's?
No, I think it's if there's a single cell of him left, he can.
Who is he, Boo?
Well, no, like,
It's
it's bruh, man,
But
like,
that man has been incinerated in the sun before.
who? Hawk?
Oh, okay. He's
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, like, Hank Pym made an arrow for Hawkeye, like, Ayo. Well, no, not Hank Pym, I'm sorry, Bruce Banner. He's like, Ayo, shoot me with this arrow. It will kill me.
Yep. Which she does in
In Civil War II.
Civil War II, yeah.
Civil War II, middle of that bad boy, he thought he was about to Hawkeye. He's like,
Ah!
he's like, blink, and all you heard was a pow. It's like, oh.
And somehow Hawkeye gets in trouble. I just did what he asked
But
me to do.
what's funny though, they put him on trial, and he like, man, listen, Bruce told me if anything happened, and he about to turn into just like how he was World Breaker Hawk, before he could ever get that far, shoot him in the head.
I can see that.
And
y'all pulled him to his house.
the whole jury was like, the Hawk is dangerous. Last time he was here, he completely destroyed New York.
Right.
And he came here with 6 other buddies.
Right.
Yeah, Hawkeye, he's free to go.
you good, bro.
He said, you good, bro.
I just did what that man told me to do.
But man, like I couldn't get with that. I couldn't get with, but that episode when What If Strange lost his heart instead of his hands, that was my favorite episode.
This man had to watch Christine die so many times.
And he tried so many obstacles. Hey, let's stay in tonight. Oh, okay. Death. Hey, you know what? You drive without me. Death. No, I don't feel like going in there. Get hit by a car. I'm like, what the heck? Like, how? Let's just do a good time. Heart attack. I'm like, what is wrong?
It's a fixed point, just like great power, great responsibility. Tony Stark dying.
But it can't be that much of a fixed point though, because she's alive in the Doctor Strange movie.
That is true.
So it can't be, which was my problem with that episode. I was like, you're saying it's a fixed point, but she is a whole walking around in our universe.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is this a fixed point? Unless you gonna sit here and tell me in part 2 she gets killed.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's just the premise on it. Like, what if it was a fixed point? Like in the show.
But you had the watcher say that's a fixed point though.
Right. That
and
means
the watcher can see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not.
No,
it's like, no, stop lying to me.
That's all the watcher was a liar. Like
Oh, I did laugh after so many times he's watched her die. Oh, baby's gonna be great. I'm so sorry. I'm like,
He went to the bar and was just drinking, and he looked up at the news, and it was just like
explosion at the house that your
That's what
girl
happened.
lives
Yeah.
at.
And it's like, man, like that has to drive anybody in. I see why he did that.
yeah, like, listen. She came back, she's like, so, you done yet?
Right.
You-
No,
so now you
I'm gonna
believe
fix
me.
this.
You can't mess with the dark arts, 'cause that's just gonna cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it looks like the bill is coming due. As Mordo said, the bill comes due at some point.
Yeah, but I don't think he's the villain though.
I don't either.
No.
And I thought that was Shumagora at first. It's not.
No, Shumagorath is in there.
That's
Yeah.
Shumagorath?
Yes, that's Shumagorath in the
Oh man,
trailer.
I thought it was crap. What is his name? Starts with a G.
Mormon.
George. Anyway,
Gregory.
yeah,
McGavin?
Gregory. Yep.
Gavin.
Shut up.
No, start with a G. Wait a minute.
Gerald.
Giraffe.
Gonzo.
Sure.
Gone. No, that's not right.
I hate you. No, it's not Shumagorath. Well, guess I'm not finding out. Whatever.
Yeah, that's Shumagorath.
That's Shumagorath, but that city seems like. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Shumagorath. Yeah, that was
Gargantos. That's his name.
gargantuan.
Ain't nothing but a G.
Gigantic.
Wait,
Gigamantia. What's that big dude name in My Hero?
Gigantomachia?
That guy.
Like, looking at this, it looks like it could be Gargantos because there are, what's called, like the Lego figure.
The Lego, they foiled it. It's Shumagorath.
Okay, bet. Well, we get Shumagorath, which is, yes, it's more bang.
Yeah, that's Shumagorath.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
I think the villain in this is going to be Scarlet.
Oh, for sure.
Like she's the main. It's gonna either be she's gonna be the main villain
Or Nightmare.
Yeah, I think, or it might be
So,
I thought they
Nightmare.
already explained or said it was gonna be Nightmare.
What did you say? Why? Just why would it be Soul Calibur's Nightmare?
Nightmares. So
You know who the villain really should be? Morbag. The true Secret Invasion.
the truth God really is. I am more right. To be continued.
I feel like you said, it could be either Nightmare or it could be Wanda. Like, because Wanda, I don't care what anybody says, she is a monster.
Wait, Wanda.
She does have.
Yeah, Wanda and Cosmo gonna come in and just
Wish
break the rules, and it breaks all of the multiverse. See, this is why I hate y'all. Y'all taking completely left. I'm trying to stay on track. I just
Can
take
you
it.
imagine if Wanda and Cosmo really did decide they was gonna just break the rules and
Dragon Ball Strangle is the new He Who Remains. I am Dragon Ball Strangle.
and see, it wouldn't even be Cosmo and Wanda. It would be Poof.
Oh, absolutely. Poof would be
Yeah.
the villain.
Who for one?
Everybody, that was the snap.
Oh, yeah.
Did it.
Come in and be like, where is Poof? Oh. Poof. Be like, Poof, here. Come here. Let's just go back to Let's go back home.
That's just,
Magic proof container.
well, wrapping up this show, I would definitely say going through this still S-rank. Favorite MCU, Sony, Marvel movie, that Spider-Man movie that I've ever seen. Definitely top tier. So if you haven't seen it by this point, sorry if you got spoiled. Why are you even watching this video? Like, how did you get to this point? Whatever. You just like spoilers.
You spoiled me.
You just like spoilers.
Just like.
Right. But yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Join the Blerd Fam. Push that bell icon.
Ding.
Exactly. So that whenever we drop dope content, you're the first one to know about it. Chris, we thank you so much for joining the podcast.
I appreciate it.
This is our first all-star review for any, I think, MCU. Well, me and Trey John did something for Endgame, but that's like part of the lost files that we can't find. So, for all intents and purposes, this is the first all-star review. So we thank Chris so much for coming. Be sure to plug yourself real quick.
You can find me on Save Point Plus, so on YouTube, Save Point Plus, as well as Twitch, twitch.tv/Save Point Plus. I'm currently playing through 2 games, Mass Effect, as well as Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm finishing that up with the hopes of finishing up my series that I started on there of Assassin's Creed. So playing. I'm playing through Odyssey. Going to do Origins, and then Odyssey. I'm gonna do Valhalla. Then I'm gonna jump back to Origins.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done Valhalla yet.
Solid. So yeah, be sure to support Black businesses. With that being said, this will be the last podcast for the year because it's about to be Christmas and then New Year. So we will return in the new year with all new dope content. So be sure, like I said, push the bell icon, subscribe, join the Blerd Fam. Because I know I messed that up. I'm secretly more bad. But yeah, with that being said, I have been Trey.
I have been DJ.
I have been Marcus.
I've been Kang.
DC Black here.
And we will see you guys next time on the BlerdCast, the blackest podcast in the multiverse, the podcast where black and creative meets nerdy and innovative.